Are we here? Sorry, guys. We're back. Uh, Let me see. Is anybody behind? Uh, uh, Grace is here. Everybody here, guys. Welcome to. We're about to start. My internet is kind of messing up. I'm using my phone. Once I get my computer back in, but I think Grace and others are here. Uh, Grace, Grace, you can hear me?
Very clear.
I'm not hearing you.
I can hear you.
Uh, I'm not hearing you, Grace. I'm not
can
hearing.
hear
I
you.
think my phone. You're not hearing me,
I can hear you. I can
but I
hear
can't
you.
hear you. So I might have to go out and come back. Uh, Let me
Ansu, you can
see.
hear me? Look at Ansu on the phone. Eh?
Move.
Ansu. Oh,
Grace, can you hear me?
yes, you can hear me?
Let me see something here.
Maybe I need to go back and come back in.
StreamYard login. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can log through my laptop because I'm having problem.
You can hear me?
Nope. I'm having problem. I don't know whether you can hear me either. I'm not hearing anybody but Grace. Um, uh, Stream. Why is it doing this? Gosh, welcome, welcome. I should make your way to the closing acumen. I just like to welcome you guys. I'm having problem with my uh, 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 internet, and it appears that I'm not getting connected. But would like to just make your way. Welcome. Grace will come back in, and Grace will lead. Let me see. I think you can hear me now, Grace.
I can hear
You
you.
can
You
hear
can
me,
hear me?
Grace. Let me
I
see
can hear
something
you.
here. Grace, you can hear me now.
I can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
I'm I'm actually having problem with my laptop. I'm using a different version, so I can log
Okay.
on. I'm all the way in Virginia. I'm at Virginia Beach, so I just wanted
Oh,
to.
you are
Yeah,
having fun.
yeah. I'm on a little week vacation here, and uh, my laptop. I'm using the wrong program, so that's why I can't. I should connect through Microsoft Edge, and it's giving me the old stuff. So, but Grace, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you,
Good,
Doc.
good. Yeah. Uh, how you been, Grace? How's everything? How everything going with you?
Well, I've been going through the jet lag. I just came from traveling, so
Oh
my
yeah,
sleep
that.
while you guys are sleeping, I'm like up because I got a whole time mixed up. But I'm getting there. So I'm just trying to get together with that stuff. So yeah, but I'm doing good so far. I've been well rested. So I'm preparing myself, to
Well,
go
that's
back to a regular life here in America.
yeah. That can be really, really can be really difficult though. That's
Hmm.
why I don't stay. When I go to Liberia, I don't stay too long because when I come back, uh, 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 you're sleeping in the day, uh, and all of that. So it can be difficult. It can be difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. All of a sudden, your whole day and your neck just messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm getting
That's,
there. Everything is fine here. I am happy to be back home here in
well,
the States. This is where I live. So I've been living here for the past at least 22 years. So America is home to me. So I'm happy to be back home and away from all the hustle and bustle that happens, especially in Liberia. And some of them happen in Ghana too when you want to do stuff. But so far, I'm happy to be back home with my kids. Me and my daughter went out yesterday. We had mother and daughter's time. And she said, Mommy, it was empty here without you. She said, I cried 2 of the days when you left. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's 22. I'm like, you cried for me? She said, yes, I did. You're my mom. Yeah, but so I'm happy to be home. And that's my only daughter. So we got to hang out. We went places. We had dinner. We had brunch. And we had a very good time. Yeah, I'm back.
I don't know what you're getting me, Grace. My phone is. I gotta go off and come back. I'm
Oh,
having prob. So, Grace, you just continue. I'll come back.
okay.
Yeah, I just need to get off. Okay, I can hear you now. I'm trying to
Okay.
get you through my Bluetooth, but it's not going. And
You
then I'm
acting
trying to
you
get.
acting too old, man, Peabody.
Huh?
You acting old.
Doing what?
You are acting old.
I left the other folks. But Grace, maybe you want to recognize some of the people that are coming on, and then
Yeah, let me go and see some of them that coming on so I can
yeah,
recognize them. I don't
yeah,
even think I see closing argument on Facebook. Hmm.
huh?
I don't see him. I don't see the show on Facebook. Maybe that's my phone, but
Let me see something here. Let me see because we should be on Facebook.
okay. Yes, we are. We are.
We are okay.
Yeah, we are on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would like
Mhm.
to say hi to everyone as people go back out to face his phone and come back. And so if you can come on screen so you and myself can be here. I would like to welcome everybody to the show. As you know, my name is Grace Guar. I became one of the panelists by force. So I'm here. And I would like to welcome Christine Rock. Christine, let me put my glasses on so I can mix your name. Because, like Brent put it like that name in it. You go miss the name, they will start getting first with you. I would like to welcome Christian Roberts, Thompson B. Boss, Emmanuel Ma, Angie Clinton, Andrew Bachu, Benedict Goddard, scientific reactionary bamboozle. Tayo Nina, Tayo God giving, Tayo God giving Nina. You see how you can change your Nina? Well, yeah. So, and Juja Wonwe, I would like to welcome you to the show. So, if you're on here, you want to share the show and invite your friends to come on. Share it to any messenger group. We are on YouTube as well. We are actually in Liberia on two different radio stations and some other outlets. So we are there and people are hearing us, which is a beautiful thing because our people need to know what's going on, and how we in the diaspora feel about what's going on in Liberia. So we want to welcome you all to the show. Welcome to the closing argument. It's time for us to share. If you can share in five, everybody that are watching right now, if you can get to share in five different groups of the groups that you are in. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to share in five different messenger groups. And then I will also share in five different groups on Facebook itself. So I was sharing five groups on Facebook. Let me share it now, and I hope you're doing the same. So do that. and let's make sure that this show is heard, because today is going to be a very good show today. We have a lot of topics, although you cannot actually be able to cover all the topics in Liberia. For a small country like that to have a lot of drama, the information is not even information. The drama within the government and the country itself, there are too many, so we cannot cover all, but we'll cover the important ones. Liberia got too much drama, I'll tell you the truth. And so we'll talk about some of the ills that are happening, and then some of the good things that are also happening. It's our duty to do that. We'll talk about that, and we will also talk about. I would like to elaborate a little bit more, giving advice on traveling. I'm very good at that. I take notice of everything, so I will give you advice on traveling, the airlines that's good, and what country you should be doing your transfer in. So you have to change flight at least once or twice. You should be very mindful of what country you're changing flights in as well, because sometimes those people will put something on you and you can't even get out of it, especially in the different countries. So you have to be mindful which country you're doing your stop in, and transferring to another flight. So all those things are very important. Uh, yeah, so there were with the whole thing. I would like to encourage the other panelists to please come on. I need you guys to be here so we can run the show and do what we have to do for the Liberian people. You know, when you're doing these kind of things, in America, yeah, you get paid. For me, everything I do, I like to get paid. But in Liberia, when we do this kind of thing for Liberia, we are not getting paid. It's just because of love for country. That's why we are doing it. There is no money in it. People that sit on platforms in America, just these common things, sometimes they're talking about food, they're talking about hair. These people get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of them are rich because of that. But we just have love for country. We try to help the country, and we get insulted. Sometimes we get abused. People talk ill about us, don't even know us, because we try to give our point of view on things that we see that's happening, and we try to direct our people minds on how to put leaders into power, so the leaders will be able to benefit the society for for us now and the future generation of Liberia. So there where we are, but most time when we try to do that, we get insulted. Why we should be getting paid on this platform? Seriously, I think closing argument. I would try to talk to Ben Sanvee and how they call him, Tomalin George and Dr. Peabody. What are they doing for us to get income so we can be getting stipends? Because talking is a whole talent by itself. So we need to get paid, But me, everything I go there too much. So, but I would like you to tell me how you doing, how everything in the studio too.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Grace, for having us on again. We are all good. Good to be back on the closing argument after a very long weekend. So wonderful, my production team and I. We are happy again to be back here, especially the first working day Monday in Liberia and Monday night to be on the closing argument. So we are good, and we are yet again to run the show up to later on.
Okay, so I'm also trying to find out. I haven't seen Henry Jala on the show for a minute. Is he okay? Because the last time I was in Liberia last week, he was sick. So have you guys checked on your fellow workmate to find out how he's
Yes,
doing?
yes, he started today. Today he came to work today, so I think he was having the late hour because on the side you're in the country in recent times, so already when you're late on the side, the weather condition, Jeff from sick bed, so all these things. Then yeah, maybe he's still observing the night hour, the night shift, but he started work today. He was around today.
That's very good to hear. So Henry, if you're listening, we are announcing that we wish you well, speedy recovery, for you to come back to work, because sometimes I really like to have you and Ansu at the same time. You're so productive in that studio. Ansu,
Yeah, man.
I want you to tell me what are the trending the trending news in Liberia right now? What you heard today? At least you can give us three because you know the drama in Liberia can be plenty now. So you can give us all, but give us some
Yeah,
of the
and
three.
the drama started from the weekend, Grace. It started from the weekend from the arrival of former president. Uh, we are in the country, and then on to Monday with other developments coming up from the Supreme Court, and there to in Babulu County. At the same time, when it comes to the president appointment, there are still some disenchanted supporters, maybe of the president or Liberians, when it comes to his appointment. And I noticed it today should be at the brewer for nuclear time there. The governor there, there was a huge protest there in nuclear time from the president's supporters, or maybe Liberians, due to when it comes to the appointment of the governor there in nuclear time. I think it was a long race with Liberians there being disenchanted with the president appointment. So it was another eye-catching scene in the brew of nuclear time, and I was training today again. And again, I said from the weekend, it was a former president we had arrival in the country, supporters of the president, also participating for the CDC show up at the Rabat International Airport. And what raised the attention of the president in the country is about the AFL personnel being deployed at the Rabat International Airport. And some people saw it, and maybe in terms of the president, in terms of following rules of law, or saw it like why must the AFL personnel be deployed at the Rabat International Airport when the former president is coming back? But they have the reason. When they give some reaction to the suspended deputy DA boss, Fadiga, when I saw a post on him, Gracie, what he said, talking about security matter and the president coming back. So due to the lack of police, and in which I reacted strongly to it, due to the lack of police, so it was necessary. And I said, the suspended deputy DA boss who makes a statement, he's not a police person to tell us that the police, when it comes to manpower, their lack of manpower. I think the police spokesperson should be telling us what the police is lack of manpower, or maybe the RG should be telling Liberian people whether the police is lack of manpower. But you from the DAN being suspended, they come out publicly and say due to the lack of manpower, so we saw it necessary for EFL personnel to be at the Rabat International Airport. So there was a lot of rigmarole road, and Representative Musa has some ability also talking about it too, and so that's just how it been from the weekend up to today. But for some development from the day up to night hour, it comes from the court. You know that this issue of former Chief Justice Global Moses Scott and three other family members being sentenced to life in prison due to the death of Chada Musu in the house of the former Chief Justice. So we are getting another information that I think her lawyer, file in a legal argument again, in which maybe appeal to find appeal by the lawyers of a former Chief Justice Global Moses Scott with three family members to overturn the lower court's decision. So maybe that's the next thing I'll be waking up in the next few days to come, in terms of the High Court turning over the decision from the lower court, because we learned that there's appeal from the lawyer for the former Chief Justice. So that's the next argument will come on the table from the court. A lot of development coming on, and we are here to keep give people more information. Babulu County again, issue raised up when it comes to illegal mining in the Babulu County, and the superintendent spoke on the station here on our sister program, the True Breakfast Show. So we will go deep into it as we run through the show tonight. But as I said, from Saturday, from the arrival of former President Weah to Monday, there have been so many developments. And what you can see on our screen here, that come from Saturday.
All right, Ansu, thank you so much. I would like to ask you, was there any intelligence? I see Ben here. Ben, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Is there any intel? Do you know that?
Chairman for long, though. Chairman for long. For long, chairman.
Chairman, I tell you what, they show he can't for long like business. We just welcome him, let him just be there.
You say you won't pay that one again.
Oh, okay, so they talk about our money, eh?
I know, right? But it's good to
Yeah,
be here.
but
Go ahead, Grace. Sorry.
I wanted to ask Ansu quickly. Did you hear anything that maybe the government or the police heard any intelligence that something was going to happen at that airport? That's why they had the army deployed there because former President Weah was coming in from his whatsoever he went to, that they had to deploy army people because of the crowd. Because crowd can gather, but did they hear anything?
No, I think it based on that. From the week upon now this information about the former president arrival in the country that have been on this VIP lodge, right? Which have been So some of his supporters have already been making some statement, strong statement. On the former president arrival, in which he must use at the VIP lodge. So I think it is why it is necessary to have because for me, I'm not ready for the security side too, but for the idea I have on it, I strongly believe to some major borders or maybe a boundaries you should have the army there to like the airport, the national port to all these things that you have the port deployed there. But as I said, due to the momentum for the former president arrival last week, which it was a strong statement from some of his supporters under the VIP lodge. I think therefore it was hard, to have that area well secured by security. So the government decided to have maybe the armed force, the AFL there. So far, as I said, it was just found that they suspended DEA deputy boss, Fadiga, when he talking about police lack of manpower, in which some of us will condemn because he's not a police person, he's not an IG. So so when he come and say police lack of manpower, so it was necessary for the AFL to be there.
So now I understand. So in that light, I would like I will, because I was wondering, but if that was the case, I think it was right for the government to do. That's how I feel. I don't know about Fatika making that announcement. That is a security or like it put a kind of threat on the police for him to even make that statement. If they lack of manpower, I don't think it should be coming from people like him. I don't even think it should be announced like that in the public. But anyway, I will let Ben come in. Ben, you have any opening comments?
Thank you. Well, first of all, I was listening to Ansu, and first of all, I think it's a total, and I disagree. I think it's a total spectacle that they're on. I don't think there's a need to deploy the army to the airport. It's just a waste of resources, time, energy. The army, when you bring the army out, is in extreme cases, right? The National Police Force, the EPS. By the way, there's EPS stationed at that airport. The whole saga around President Weah not using the VIP lounge in itself is disgraceful. It's petty. It is childish. I think this government should be ashamed of herself for not allowing the former president to use a presidential lounge. I don't know what is a presidential lounge. When Joseph Boyka is at one point, he's going to be former president at one point, whether he wins, whether he decides to go for re-election or don't go for re-election. He's going to be former president. He was just former vice president, and I'm a witness. I'm a witness to seeing Joseph Boyka being accorded all of the due courtesies that was befitting one of a former vice president. At that time, at the period of when President Weah was in power, there was only one presidential and VIP lounge, right? And it was the smaller one that was built by former president or renovated by former President Charles Taylor. I think it was built by him, if I'm not mistaken, or renovated by him, one of them, because that airport is an old airport, right? But I have been on many occasions at that VIP lounge when I saw former Vice President Joe Boyka go through that lounge, former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, all of some, even in most cases, former government officials go through that VIP lounge. The only place that was off limit in the VIP lounge was there was a room in that small lounge where the president will go. The president, his guests, and visiting head of states will go into. There is, like I said, this whole notion about denying him access to the presidential lounge. It's elementary. It's petty. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know what's the big deal. Whether you like it or not, George Weah was president of Liberia. His name is in the history of Liberia as a former president, right? So this notion that you will go ahead and deploy the army, I don't know what security threat was being posed there. I was looking at that.
There was a security threat being posed there, Ben. Come on.
What was the security threat?
If the people, CDC, let's just talk where it belongs. I'm not a supporter of Paga government. CDC are most of the people that in CDC are very arrogant. If they're passing around the country and on the radio making threats that if the president don't sit in the VIP law, they would do this to the airport, they would do that. So the president had the right to say, you know what, this is kind of scary. We don't want no problem in the country, so we'll deploy a few army people there. So to protect the airport and for other people that are coming in. Or their airport is not, but we don't own their airport. He doesn't own Liberia.
So Grace, let me correct you. First, I do remember there were folks from the CDC who posted on social media that, if the president don't go ahead and use the airport, they will do this. But the very president, issued a statement making it very clear that he had no intention whatsoever of forcing his way through the airport. He made it very clear. I saw a statement from the former president. He made it very clear. And that he was calling on his supporters to obey the law, to follow the law. Secondly, even if there was a threat, the army is the last force of defense.
But how many people went out? Not a war army.
But Grace, and the notion, first of all, that's why I said it is disgraceful, because this is not about whether Weah owns the airport or not. The fact of the matter is he's former president of the country. He should be giving his respect. He should be giving his courtesy.
But we're not taking it away from him, Ben.
But Grace, let me finish now. Grace, let me finish. The Republic of Ghana, right? The Republic of Ghana, where George Weah traveled through, gives him the courtesy to use their presidential lounge. This issue for me is a non-issue, because George Weah himself has said he's going to go through the regular terminal, which is where he used, which is exactly what he used. So this notion that you would take the army, trying to militarize this thing. Look, whether we like it or not, we know nobody was going to do nothing to that airport. But again, this speaks larger to the pettiness of this government. Joseph Boakai, I repeat, was former vice president, and he used the airport. He used the VIP lounge. All of these people, they did. President Sirleaf today used the VIP lounge. So what is this possible? Somebody using it and somebody not using it. For me, I think it's elementary. What is wrong? What is wrong with giving? What is wrong, Grace, with giving? What is wrong with giving the former president his courtesy? Well, I mean, you may agree with him, you may not agree with him. The fact of the matter is he's former president of the country. What is wrong with that? Why should we be so petty in Liberia? Or this government, I want to say we should be, because I know former governments have accorded respect to former leaders. And for the first time in our history, we have two former presidents alive.
You got 1 minute left, Ben. Okay.
We have two former presidents alive in the country. If the least we can do is to show some respect. And for me, like I said, it's a non-issue, because guess what? Even the George Weah man himself said he's using the regular airport. So I don't know what were all the fuss about in the first place. So I just thought there was a lot of grandstanding that did not need to happen. And it was a waste of resources. When you get the army out of the barracks, that resources you're spending.
Togar in the back. Somebody need to put Togar on. He's in the back and he's been there for a while.
I can see. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. So, but Ben, okay. Welcome, Alex and Togar. I want you to wait for a minute. Let me just address this thing that Benny is saying. Well, I was one of the people that came on this show, and I said what they did to President Weah was wrong. You see, for me, because I don't have a side, I can speak on both sides. I don't care. So people will say, oh, this and that, but me, I don't. But what they did to President Weah was wrong. They had no right not allowing him to use that VIP.
Don't say did. What they continue to do.
Yeah,
so what they continue.
My thing is that they did not deny him this time. Did they deny him this
They
time?
did.
Again?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
This is where all this noise is coming from. They did.
So, and that's the reason. Okay, so they denied him this time. It was wrong for them to do that. But I'm not even looking at that. I know it was wrong. It's another whole issue that we have to address. But when I addressing the AFL coming to the airport, because he's being denied, his people, his followers are very upset. So it poses a threat to the country, a security threat. So therefore, if they go up to the airport in that number, the president and the government of Liberia has to be concerned.
Grace, how many people went to welcome? How many
in the nation at the airport?
Do you know how many people went to welcome George Weah?
What I think is so wrong, although it's not right, but in a sense, because of the threat was posted, and now we are hearing that the police don't have enough manpower. So they have to few AFL soldiers there for the protection.
Grace, are you seriously falling? Are you seriously falling for this hogwash that these people are talking about? Are you kidding me? How many people went to welcome George Weah to that airport? Not even 500 people. I saw that crowd. There were not even 500 persons at that airport.
Oh, you saw the crew?
Which crew? No, I mean I saw it. It was live on the internet. Oh, okay. It was all live on the internet. There were not even 500 people on that airport. This notion that my issue here is not about the deployment. You can deploy army if you want to deploy army. You want to deploy Air Force, you can deploy Air Force. My issue here, what I'm talking about here, is the fact of the disrespect that has been rendered to the former president. And it's wrong. If this was Joseph Boyka, can you imagine if Joseph Boyka was denied his privileges as former vice president?
They are going to get mad too.
But that's my point. Yeah, and then I see some of my thing is the Unity Party, and they should know this better than any other person, any other political, any other group, right? What is wrong with letting the president use the lounge? There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, this is that VIP lounge and the regular VIP lounge, everybody can go in.
Which one?
Because I was in the VIP lounge. I didn't even see the VIP lounge people making platform because they're looking. I don't know how.
Well, no, it's away from the main terminal. It's away from the main terminal.
Oh, okay.
There's a smaller building, and then there's a presidential lounge. Look, again, there's a presidential lounge that did not exist until George Weah government built it.
Well,
right?
He had a right to build it. He was serving the Republic of Liberia.
But Chris, that's what I'm saying. Chris, what I'm saying to you is you're missing the point. That is not the issue here. The issue here is not that because he built it, so it means that his property. That's not his property. I agree with you. But by virtue of the fact that he's former president, don't he deserve the right to be respected? When do we get?
He does, and that's why we spoke against it when they did it to him. We all talk.
So I mean, let other people come in. I'm just saying.
But let me just welcome the other people because we'll continue to go back and forth. And I mean, it's wrong for them to treat the former president that way. I don't think that you deny.
Look. Let me. Right before you welcome them, look at the vehicle. The former, you know, this is a bus. You send a bus to the airplane to pick up the former president of Liberia, and you say this is right. Yeah, Joseph Boyka as former vice president. Joseph Boyka as former vice president. His car, his personal vehicle would drive to the plane. I am a witness. I've seen it happen many times. What is this? What is this pettiness in Liberia about other person no longer in power? So it means the person to do all of these things for me, I think is elementary, and that's all I'm saying. It's not necessary, and it just shows the elementary nature of the way how we think
I mean, everything is bringing too much tension to the country and not even necessary.
That's my point.
President, we are already told you people, you're his supporter, that this is not a big deal. So you start making it a big deal, though. Yeah, it's not. He said he don't care about it. The man already said yes. He pay attention to other things. The way Liberians, especially his supporter, want to make this thing like a big deal. It's not. It's just not. You former president. I had a call. He said, Jerry Rodden, who did so much for Ghana. I went to Ghana the other day. The people don't even have his name on the list as one of the best presidents in Africa. The guy Eddie Johnson said he needed his name not there. So I mean, stay to your former lane. That's what we just saying. Stay in your former lane. Thank you. Togar, welcome to the show, Alexander. Togar, Bleaded, and Chuchu Alex Jones. You're welcome. You have any opening statement? Chuchu, go first, and then Alex, Togar. All two of your name, Alex, so we can get all happy.
Yeah. All right. Well, good to see you, the bold and beautiful Grace. Ben, my good friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Alex?
Good. Togar. I see you down, man. Get one, man. It's okay. It's
Oh,
all right.
me?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no, man. You look for me. It's just again, like I said, it just speaks to what we do as Liberians, right? Because I remember very well when Joseph Boyka, this very Joseph Boyka who was sick. It was George Weah government who sent him to hospital.
And they announced that all the players because they had to raise money to pay them.
Guess what? But what I'm saying also is when people were when the CDC people were throwing it in Joseph Boyka's face, I was one of the people who said it was his entitlement as former vice president for the state to take care of him. So they're making a lawyer to say, oh, Joseph Boyka will never be former president? Do they intend for him to be president forever? So anyway, but like you said, man, let it be so.
Alex, go ahead. You get about 30 seconds to bet on your time.
I'll tell you. If they can do the 30 second.
I know, right?
Let it bet. I'll tell you. Anyways, look.
You gotta be objective on the show, Ben. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And well, let me say something, Chris.
Okay. You want another 30 seconds?
No. I won't call all the Joma Jala here. Every time they can block you on the thing, you call me a liar or a hypocrite, I will block you on the show. I'm warning you publicly. I don't do this to people. You guys are these are some of the people, these are some of the things you're talking about. You come on the platform with having an honest disagreement, you calling somebody a hypocrite and a liar. And you try it again, I will block you, you will go sit down somewhere. Let's just go ahead.
Don't mind your
okay. All right. Anyways, you're leading chairman today, man.
Lofa blocked the other day. He was in my inbox begging me for me to unblock him. That Joseph Boy, I know you from anywhere.
Well, you can see the CDC on the
Exactly. Joseph Boy, I know you from anywhere. I can call Joseph Boy. You not ever talked to Joseph Boy before? Can't open your mouth because my hypocrite or liar. You try again, I will block you. Try it.
The question is some people.
Ben, I gotta take another stand. I think there's freedom of expression. Y'all can be real this show. You know what people have called me.
My man Alex, man. I know
no, seriously. You see that?
Alex, that man are talking about. I know the man. Trust me. I know why I call him up publicly.
President, okay.
I know you want to call him up publicly. That man, what they in my inbox taking me? Oh, the other person blocked me. The other person blocked me.
Ben, and the same man that insulted me.
Exactly. He always insulting people here.
I want
Joseph Boyka even know a knee from left to tail. What day he insulting people?
You're not even worried about the insult. What about you put in living your life?
So let me get my point. Let me get my point so they can insult me too. But I will give my point and I will give it unvarnished. Concerning the discussion on the floor about receiving the former president of Liberia. First, and it's going to be very controversial. First of all, I disapprove of the fact that every time a president or former president goes or leaves the country or comes back, people got to go to the airport. It's ridiculous. Okay? They need to stop that practice. I don't know who came up with it that every time a president is leaving the country, they got to have military guards and they got to have all this, people coming on the termites. It's ridiculous in the 21st century. No Western country president does that. When Biden comes from wherever he's coming from, I don't see people lined up waiting to shake his hand. Okay, so, and this goes for the president too. The Senegalese president just canceled that, the young man. He said nobody comes to meet him to the airport. Where about these people about power so much that people should be always catering to you. People don't have food to eat. They don't have jobs. They want to come to the airport just to meet you. That's low self-esteem. The only people should be to the airport that your family. Okay? That your family
what
should
kind
be
of
to the airport.
development and do for that was so much for people to go
Exactly.
there. Like bring people to gullible. Really? That's how they must
So
say,
let's
oh,
stop that. So that, you know, and that's what bringing all the problem. The second thing here is, like you said, Ben, Joseph Boga was given a lot of courtesy, right? But it's not a law that because certain courtesy were afforded certain people, that means former president has to use a place of the airport that is under the government control. That's life. If it was a law, if they wanted to be a law, they let the CDC people go and pass a law that says all former presidents are entitled to airport lounge. Because my thing here is, you know, George Weah has traveled all over the world. He been in every lounge before, seen it with Ellie Johnson, Sally, or Joseph Boga. If you don't really go into a lounge, what's the big deal? Is that the stuff we should be arguing on? You know, in a if poorest country in the world, we shouldn't be arguing about children, healthcare and education and jobs. We're arguing about who goes to air. I personally would not care. I know there are people who, you know, those things are important to them, but I don't really see the fact that I've seen many former presidents and prime ministers that go right to the airport like everybody else. The UK prime minister, when they leave office, they go to the regular airport, get the plane, go in first class, and go about the business. So this is a bad culture, Ben. It's a bad, very bad culture. It's unproductive, and this aggrandizement. And I call on Joseph Boakai to stop this practice of every time coming in. That is preserved for formal ceremonials when you were inviting other presidents or when there's a special state visit. Then you carry your staff, ministers go to the airport to greet that person. That's not an everyday thing. Nowhere in the world, whether in Switzerland, in America, we don't do it yet. So why are we even doing it to be arguing about it? And the whole country won't go. They won't bring the military, all that kind of stuff. George Weah is a private citizen now. He's not a president no more. He doesn't hold any government position. The only thing he's entitled to is security because that is in law, by law, and his pension. But he's a regular citizen, just like you and me. If the current president wants to give him certain privileges and say, hey, we'll send a limousine for you or use the lounge, fine. But he's not entitled to it. There's a difference between what you're entitled to and what somebody grants you. So you need to educate the people better and say, no, I'm not entitled to this. And I think that's what he said. It's not a big deal. But really, we need to stop it because it's not whether Joe Boga did it, Ellen Johnson Zelly did it, it's not productive for our country. We should be discussing things to improve the people's lives, jobs, agriculture, you know, to lift ourselves up. What would that do if a president gets, you know, that kind of reception? I see the people that on the timeline, you know, it's ridiculous to me. First of all, I don't think any someone with high self-esteem would matter. Because a lot of other former presidents move on with their lives. Jimmy Carter, for instance, you think former President Jimmy Carter cares what are they saying limousine for him? This man is building homes for homeless people. And I want one of former president arguing about, oh, they gave me lounge. That's what I have to say on this.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. There is no jobs in the country. The people are very less busy. So everything I can't order my mom, somebody got something to say. They're very less busy. People were working to feed their families and send their children to school and have serious job to do that. You can't even call up. You think they'll be there running on but none of that. They won't be there. I won't talk Togar to come in. Welcome Tomalin to the show. And also I see somebody else. Can you move the picture? But they think from here, we're moving from this thing. We just have everybody to
Slyvester, he coming to support uncle.
Yeah, I see Slyvester.
Thank you.
Slyvester, welcome to the show. Togar, can you talk your 2 minutes or welcome remark or whatsoever you
Thank
want to
you.
say?
It seems it will be a very power-packed night. The way it's starting,
Yeah.
I can understand that. But let me say this much. You see, Alex Chuchu Jones, you have to try to familiarize yourself with our local politics. I see most of the time, all you try to trend is what happened in America, what happened here. And these same things happen even in America, except you don't follow them.
No, I want to hear.
It's sad that you don't follow them.
All right,
and because you don't follow them, you always want the Liberian people at home to think that what you're saying is different from what happens in America. No. Even in America, they got VIPs.
They do.
Barack Obama does not travel ordinarily.
You know, see Barack Obama traveling?
I didn't say
But you
VIP.
ever see Barack
I'm
Obama
on time to
VIP
talk.
much?
Yes, Grace. Yes. Barack
Let me
Obama
tell you,
travels in the
You
VIP.
always make it a PLN. What happens in America
Yes,
should be different.
we do.
No. If Donald Trump did not even have a VIP, that assassin would have not been killed. He's a former president. You know why they had somebody, people sitting all on the rooftop poster for Donald Trump at a political rally? Why they did not treat Donald Trump as a former president? He should be ordinary at a political rally. Why did they have people seated with a snapper seated on the rooftop? You saw the number of armed men that entered. Immediately, the guys shot at Trump at the gathering. You saw the number of military men that entered. Immediately, they were always on standby in that vicinity. That's how
Yes, there's campaign that going on, my brother. It's not a
It's
regular.
not
He doesn't
ordinary.
even know what.
Even Barack Obama just attended a football event. A football event. It was not ordinary. Not because you see Barack Obama walking on the field. You know, sometimes I can laugh. The other time I saw the president of Russia, for example, taking, I think, a bicycle ride or something, and people are making it like the Russian president. You know how many men on the standby because the Russian president is riding a bike in the street? You think it's ordinary?
But you talking about a president here, you're not talking about.
How we take our country? We make it appear like even if you
But I can't get a bunch of stuff.
even if you book
Grace,
a
Grace,
business
you want
class
moderate.
ticket,
Grace,
even
Grace,
if you book a
discuss
business
when you
class
moderate,
ticket,
but
let me tell you,
What more meaning you got?
you
Look
even
out.
if you book a
Can I
business class
respond,
ticket on a
Chris,
flight,
to him?
you are giving VIP
Then he
treatment.
No.
mentioned me.
A business class ticket.
No, Alex, you gotta wait. Let everybody
If you
finish.
just book a
I don't
business
want
class
moderate
ticket,
to show you
you are
how
giving
they
VIP
Exactly.
treatment.
No, you and Alex, how come you do your?
You don't know that.
No, the more moderator, she has the right. So can I
lay
respond,
on my-
Grace, to
Can I lay on my
to
talk? I
Togar?
told you this show tonight.
Please,
They will
please
be
land,
at.
please
Just give me
land,
1 second,
because-
please. Let me finish.
Please land,
Even
brother,
the
please
people
land.
who can buy business class ticket or first class tickets, they are
They
giving
don't
VIP
go to the
treatment.
ordinary line.
They are giving VIP treatment.
Yep.
The people who get private jets, I always used to be wondering before I started making a lot of trips. I used to be wondering, but what the people that get private jet, what they can park on the plane, or what the planes can park. The people that get private jets, they got specific place on the plane that they can pass. At the airport, they're not treated ordinarily. They are not. But the worst I saw was the fact that we would deploy the army for a political rally at the airport. And for me, I think the legislature needs to pick that up. It has to stop. There are times, and in fact, the police got different categories.
Thank you,
The
Togar.
police
Thank you.
are armed carriers all in the police. They got
Thank
it.
you.
So if there is a private or a political gathering and you think that it's acting at a certain level, you can bring maybe the ERU or another set of the police that for rioting. That's why they got different segment of the police. You don't take the army from the barrack and carry them to the airport because a political person is arriving and you think it's tension packed. That was wrong. And I think the legislature need to summon the chief of staff of the army and the defense minister and bring them to book. If this does not stop, the worst will happen. The worst will happen. I just like to stop the tension.
Thank you. CDC don't start. CDC stop leveling trust upon like great people.
We're gonna test CDC
someone
right
them to the
now.
house.
Black people.
Can I make a point? Grace, can I make a point of correction to Togar?
But let people talk.
Tomalin, George, can you come in, please?
We're gonna test CDC.
Am I done at all?
Ben, you keep on that Tomalin time to talk. Ben, after Tomalin.
Okay. Let me mute myself. Grace, you gotta be a moderator. You can't get personal in
I am a
anything.
moderator. You want to
Can't get personal.
me? You know me. I will not stand for that. So,
Yeah.
Tomalin, can you please come in?
Well, man, it's good to be back. You know, after a long weekend in Minnesota, I would encourage you guys. You guys get involved with your local organization. It's important. You guys talk politics all day. Get involved with something you connected to.
Let's talk about what you're about.
Yeah, you get connected. It's important. Your childhood upbringing, the people you went to school with, and all this stuff is important. And look, You enjoy it, man. I saw two of my classmates from kindergarten that we started school together with. I also had started to see them, and we haven't seen for years. I met them. I was so happy, you know. They're so good. I want to thank the Minnesota people for the hospitality, especially my brother Isaac Nico, man. He is converter, that open converter, man. That boy just treated me like a king in Minnesota.
So Tommy, like, how come here from here?
He drove me like a king in that place, man, all through the streets. Look, we're watching the thing happening in that.
You are living good life.
On a serious note, but I want to say thanks to my friend and brother, Representative Ava Jones. He was a guest speaker from Magibi District Number 2. He had a very powerful speech. Ava is doing a lot of good things in Magibi District 2. I'm impressed with him, and I love that. I hope he continues. But besides that, look, the issue about the former president, that's why they gave him security detail. He's very important. Take it or leave it. Not because he's Josh Weah, but he's entitled to the courtesy and respect that is due a former president. Okay, I'm just surprised that the administration is not treating him that way. I don't think it's fair. Even in America, you see, all the former president got security detail onto Secret Service onto for the rest of their lives. You know, you saw when the late President Bush died, right? The dog. Imagine how the dog giving a final salute and all this stuff. They take it very serious. But what I saw on the airport, I don't think it was. I would say that there's no need to be deploying the military, like Ben said. Every time you move the military from the barracks, is using resources. I'm sure the former president's protocol and his detail informed the authority that he was arriving in the country, and it should give him that courtesy. He served his country for 6 years. The politics there, whether he did well or not, is another day. But give him the courtesy as a former president, you know. So I hope President Garguah can step. Even ECOWAS have expressed concern about it. ECOWAS have come out to say that they are concerned about the way he's been treated.
Garguah doing the thing, I hear express concern.
So ECOWAS is concerned about it now. So I think they shouldn't let it reach to that level. So I just pray and hope that anybody you talk to the former officials and let them know that, look, it's not necessary. The country shouldn't go that route. But besides that, President Weah deserved, and Sedition, they got Weah, right? And the Weah, the people that just love him, whether they agree or not, they will just love him. They will always go to him, they will work on him. They will be with him there. As you saw them, whether they're official or not, they will go there to give him that respect and courtesy. So that's how it is. You know, he's a popular man. Take it or leave it. So people go work all the time. So let them respect him for that and let them give him the respect. All unnecessary to see him put him in the bus. They have a guest card to the airport there, though. A special card for VIPs.
But when we went to Liberia, we rode in the car.
Yes. So by right, when they put him around, they should send that guest card to go and meet the president to the plane. Put him there. Look, give the man his flowers.
That information I'm providing, Grace. That information.
Yeah, so
you can't just call somebody on it.
No, it's allowed. That information I'm providing information.
It's a very professional show.
And because he's former president, and his card are supposed to go pick him up.
No, I mean, every president except there are rules in place for those things. I don't think if the president or the officials at the airport don't see it necessary for his car to go and pick him up, they send a nice decent car, he can get in there as well.
No, Grace. Yeah. You see, that why I want to correct you, Grace. I want to correct you.
You cannot correct me.
No, but I have to correct you. I have to correct you. The information you provide is
make
not
this thing a
factual.
more big deal with this former president.
No. The information you provide. I met the discussion on.
But let me conclude, right? You know, people say something.
I met the discussion on.
I think Togar said something. And on a serious note, you're answering Liberian politics. It's a cultural thing. For me personally, Ellis June, and I want to do fans who love to see people go to the airport, doing Samuel Doe time and Taylor time, meet the president, all that stuff. But it's a cultural thing.
I agree. Yeah. I think
it's a cultural thing that being in our politics. But to say it's something that they will just get rid of, it left with the president himself. You know, if you are president tomorrow, you say, you know something, I'm not into all of those all of that trappings of the job, all these funfair, all that stuff. I'm not interested.
But Ellen didn't do it.
Yeah, but so I mean, I'm against it.
Ellen said, "Look, go in and all of that airport, no, you're fine." But not easy when you put on the. I won't tell you. My brother.
Yeah, so one of the things to end. Our local politics is just different, like bro. It's different. It's different politics. It's just different. Just like example, before I end, if you're a lawmaker in Liberia, and you decide to say you will be straight by the book, you become one term. Until we can get that leadership that will change the trajectory of our politics, it will continue to be that way. And that's what happened. I see happen all the time. So we just got to pray. And I will encourage all of us here. 2029, we also get involved. We shouldn't say, oh, that people too. That was right now are independent.
But you know why they not hijack the country? The people say that the people think a certain group of people already hijack the country. You know what happened? I said, Pewee, can you come in, please? Welcome to the show.
I thought you said me again.
Peabody, sorry, Pewee.
Oh my God. I enjoy Grace one already. This show.
Look,
Unless she won't tussle me, but she holds.
I won't talk long, but with all due respect,
Hey,
President-
Grace, go out.
with the statesman, President Weah, he served our country. And I think he should be accorded that due respect. How will President Garguah feel when he's no longer president, coming to the airport and deny him of a modern presidential launch that he Garguah built? How will he feel? That he's not allowed to go in there. I think it's wrong. I think they need to respect President Weah. You know, I'm not a citizen, but I think President Weah deserves the respect. He's the former president of Liberia. And for some of those who don't think he should have been, he's already been, and we should accord him that respect. We need to start respecting those who serve our country. And that's one of the same mess we are looking at right now they are doing to Maxwell Kimia. They are depriving him of a position that they got that nothing they have to do with. I think it is wrong, and I think we need to respect people who serve our country and did good for our country. You can't be that way. President Garguah, what if he leaves office and he's treated like that? You know, I was on the flight one time going to Ghana. The former president of Ghana, who was the current stand-up bearer for
Mahama, right?
Yeah, Mahama. And when the flight arrived, it was Ethiopian Airlines. The car pulled out to the plane and picked up President Mahama, and then he left. That's the kind of respect we should be showing our former president. We should not be putting him down, sending an old van and getting military to go. The military don't have work to do. You say you shut a man. If there any fighting or anything going on at that airport, that you send in military and think that to embarrass the former president, I think was wrong. And I think President Garguah need to apologize to President. I think
so. You're not carried to apologize again.
He needs to.
Yeah, that's okay. After he like, look, before people come here, I will say this. We are not seeing that.
No, you the moderator. Some people talk to me.
You already named it, right? We're not saying that we should be disrespected. We all sat on the platform. We talk against the first time they disrespected our man. For the whole VIP launch, it was wrong. I mean, I think he's supposed to be given that privilege because he served the country. Although I feel he says that he did nothing. I feel personally that. But at least he was president. He owned that title. What we are saying is that if the government feel threatened by the arrogant seditionists who are here causing it out, the arrogant sedition, if the Garguah government feel threatened by the child, they're threatening my life right now on this life.
Who threatening your life?
The Garguah government feel threatened by them. The Garguah will deploy the army. To go there and protect the airport for regular citizens like myself to be protected. And that's why
when the man voluntarily gave him that presidency.
Pewee because you know
Pewee is
break the election in the first round. He had no choice. They call him to book. If you know, Pewee come in here.
Thank you, Integrate. And today, you know, before coming on the show, I was saying if I don't allow me to not kind of conflict with this chair today because and for sure we coming to get a little bit. I pray
and people chance to speak. Don't copy me off.
Let me thank you. Let me thank you for your stewardship this afternoon. But I will.
Pewee will praise on before he
I will heavily disagree with most of it. And quickly, let me say to our own brother here, you need to get back with touch about national governance globally. This is a global process, and I think you off touch, and that's part of the reason why you didn't go to contest the election in Liberia.
Thank you.
It's clear. Now, here in America, we have what we call the Former President's Act. That provides, and that's one of the reasons why all former presidents of the United States of America moving forward, they were amended during Obama time, they are entitled to Secret Service protection to death. They got other, even when they are moving in states or other cities, they have particular way to commute. They can close state rules sometimes of major street for them to move through. Back in our country, the Republic of Liberia, that's what we call the Presidential Act also.
Thank you.
That provides for the President of the Republic of Liberia to carry 15 staff that the government, the taxpayer money going to pay. Correct, the President, we are entitled to that. He's entitled to carry 3 vehicles that the government of the Republic of Liberia will provide for him.
Can you do it for Guar?
I can.
Yes, he did.
Another question is
Yes, he did,
president.
Chris.
Is the yes?
No, but you answer you. Yes, he did.
Yes.
He even paid for his medical.
Ambassador Boaka got
And I think that the money in your pocket.
Again,
Your
no.
situation way of life is not good. Your situation way of life.
Grace, let a man talk. Let a man talk, Chris.
Yeah, so Grace, it should not be a now. It's the entitlement of that person.
Exactly.
It's the entitlement. It's entitlement that the people of Liberia is paying for, right? We, the people, right? So that is part of it, and you're entitled to police escort. Now, this time the police escort is not going to be like 100%. You're going to have a reward. You're going to have a pilot vehicle that will sometimes you say, pam, clear the way, pam. So it's a pilot police vehicle. We will lead that convoy so the person can have a smooth commute to basically where he's going for some function, both private and public functions. That's one. You're entitled to have staff with you, even we responsible for your pitch, your steward, security, and the rest of that. Now, and where the conflict is coming, you are entitled to have presidential immunities. It is there. It's very unfortunate sometimes the way we behave in our country or in certain African country. We try to do certain things that is basically outside the law. So now we have in the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, and other areas, they have 2 different, and that's what we must have argued. We have the VIP law and that is the VVIP. The former president is in the category of a VVIP.
Thank you, Pewee.
Right.
Thank
so
you.
basically, the former president of the republic, and that's one of the reasons why the former president is entitled to a diplomatic passport to death. His spouse is entitled to a diplomatic passport to that time. Any other children that he's going to have below the age of what? What's the age? 18, right? Anything when the person passed 18, the person will only carry those things for their children. But the spouse and the president himself will have to be entitled to those things. So part of the reason, you remember here, Auntie Grace, former President Weah is the kind of a man that is popular. So you will see people will move through.
You got 50 more seconds, my brother.
Thank you. Right. So part of this issue here is I don't think the people of the country, they are less busy. No. They believe as their leader, they're going to support. Like Donald Trump today is in where? Milwaukee. You have thousands of Republicans. You think they're jobless? No. They're going to just greet their leader. So basically, I think I should call on this government to allow the laws of our country to take effect so that people that got certain benefits and the rest of that, we all will move with that. And that's why on the tarmac, whether you have those era, the presidential vehicle will have to move. Even for government officials, sometimes they move, and those EPS officers that are assigned or protocol officer will move in there and perform the rest of the process. But again, we should not do it in a way that will disrupt.
Just a quick interjection.
And quickly integrate, quickly file land, few seconds file land. Part of the reason why they did that, it was to not disrupt. You see, when the former president used the regular terminal, you see some disruption.
That is the reason. Yes.
And that's one of the reasons why they said
why you gotta go to the VIP.
So he used that side, you saw the disruption of some other.
And we're still telling you that this is not an issue here.
I just wanted
you're too hard to hear. I won't say most of the time.
I wanted to interject quickly.
You're hard to understand. We're not saying that the president should be denounced or not use the VIP law. Citizens, y'all listen, we're not saying that. Citizen people, you're really thinking your brain. That's what we're saying. We're saying that the president is entitled to the VIP law. He's entitled to all the privileges he's supposed to have. When the country feels threatened by your rules, citizen, arrogant people, that's what happened. That's what they put out to deploy the army.
No, I disagree, please.
Too many people dying.
Army should never be deployed.
The army should never be deployed in political activities. Never. Trust me, Grace.
We got to
so let me just respond to Timothy.
John, he's sleeping tonight. Let him go sleep. So when
Clarence Moniba became president, he former president would deny him.
So like 10 minutes, George said, okay, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was also former president. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf went in and out of the airport. She did not make any noise about it. So there's nothing about Liberian culture that
But
if
she
Ellen
used the
doesn't
VIP.
sleep.
She uses the VIP, Alex.
No. The issue here, what Grace was saying
Always.
was there was no holla hoop where car come and pick you, or if your car going to the
Because
listen,
if
man,
it was
guys.
Alex,
The problem I have with you guys, right? Especially like I say, you don't get
Ellie was never
people's
denied.
view.
Ellie was
Again,
not
again,
denied.
Alex.
Oh my
So,
God.
no, you need to know certain things.
Alex,
Ellie was not
correction.
denied.
Did I say Ellen was denied? Listen. Did I say
But do you
Ellen
know
was
why the
denied?
product coming out?
I
The
think
product
some of you
coming
That's why she
out.
did not complain.
I think, listen.
That's
Because,
why she did not
listen,
complain, because she was not
you
denied.
have to let me finish, guys. You have to let the person finish. How you
All right.
managing school, some of y'all, man? Let other people talk.
All right, finish now.
Yeah, please.
You have 30 seconds. You finish now.
So,
No,
okay, so
But you don't
I
know
would know.
no, you
No,
say
no. Don't say how you manage in school. In school, when
No,
you are
school, the
when you
teacher
are
will let
coming,
your friend
I
talk.
come in. In school, when you are not coming
Okay.
with an idea that is thoughtful, we can dismiss you. And we trying to
Dismiss
dismiss
me one
you.
time.
What school you
We
went to?
dismissing you.
Where university? Where university you went
Alex.
to?
Alex.
Where university you went to that
We
says that
dismissing
if
you.
you don't agree
Go
with
ahead.
somebody
Dismissing
speaking,
you.
you're supposed to interrupt them. Where university that says if you don't agree with somebody
Okay,
speaking,
Mekami
they're not supposed to speak.
So for me, the only clarity I want to make, Alex.
No,
and
let
the
me finish,
biggest-
Ben.
Alex.
You get my point first, then you can
Oh, but I
put
thought you
who
said you were
in.
finished. Sorry.
No,
I thought
you're
you
not
said-
But you
finished
didn't give
yet.
me a chance, and
Yeah,
you're
you
not gonna
talking
bully
about
me.
All right,
You
go
know what?
ahead. Finish.
Okay.
Finish now. Finish.
So
You get it. You get a
this
moderator
thing
as your
here,
partner,
you get too sensitive when it comes to politics instead of intellectual. I intellectually agree with you. It's not the law, okay? Barker has the discretion whether or not he wants George Weah to use the airport terminal or not.
No, he
There's
doesn't.
no law. Listen. Nobody said you just Sylvester just mentioned you pass an act. The act said the president should have 3 cars, right? The president should have security. I'm not disagreeing with anything that is law, but something that is not law means that it's left to the discretion of the other person. I'm not saying right or wrong. It's not a law that the president has to use the VIP lounge. So
It
if
is.
the president does not
It
want
is.
this, the
It's a
former
law.
president.
It is.
Alex, that's what I'm telling you. It's a law.
It's
It's
a
a
law.
part of
It
the
is.
presidential act.
Okay, show me the law. Okay, show me the law, the Liberian law that says that the president has to use, the ex-president has to use the VIP lounge, and I have no argument.
So let
That
me
is
let me
same
correct
law.
you.
That is same
Let
law.
me say
Bwaka
now.
benefited from.
So
That's
it
why
is-
he
I
even
said, show me
put
the
it in
law.
asset declaration.
Where
Okay,
is
I
the
said,
law?
That's
show
part of that
me
law.
the law.
But
Show
Alex,
me
I
where the
answer
document
you.
that says
Why
it.
you think Bwaka was making money
Alex,
under the government?
Alex,
And he
I'm
put in asset
answering you.
declaration.
You're acting
That is
But
same
Alex,
presidential law.
you're
You're
acting with
benefiting from that.
emotions instead of
Alex
Moving
rationale.
on with the topic. I can't do that.
Alex
because
Jones,
I'm
my
not-
30
Okay,
seconds
Ben,
on
Ben,
this,
Ben,
please.
I would disagree with you
Great.
more. If something
Chris.
is not law,
Yes, sir.
right,
My 30 seconds
you
on
are not
this.
entitled to it.
So Alex,
Okay,
I don't want
Alex,
to. I don't want to dismiss you.
Change the topic.
30 seconds. We'll change the topic, right?
Mhm.
It is a part of the law. There is a presidential act. It is there. Now, you say you want to see it. Yes, we can do the research and we can get it to you. Fine. The only
But why
thing
is it
I'm
hiding?
saying,
It should be on the
no, but it's not. But you know
executive
why it's an issue, Alex? It's because it's never happened before. On a weird time,
Yes,
nobody
but
was.
then we are needs what we are needs to do if it's a law, then he needs to sue. Then he needs to go to the Senate.
Okay. That's your opinion. That's
So,
fine.
Ben,
No,
can
that's
you
not
quote the
opinion.
law?
That's the right way to
You
do
said
things.
there is a presidential law.
That's
Can you quote that law?
That's your opinion.
If there's a
which is
law,
fine.
listen, it's just that the president is entitled to retirement. If the president doesn't get a retirement, that's a law that of course he can go by. Well, I can let people then, we're not civilized. There's a law. If there's a law, I agree with him.
You see, Alex, what we are saying is not that we are having a discussion about what happened.
No,
the person
you giving
who
your opinion, you feel Ben, you feel Ben that he's supposed to get it. I'm
Alex,
telling you that if it's not a law, that means he's not entitled to it.
Alex, I'm not saying he's supposed to. I know he should have it because it's a law.
So where can you
all I'm trying to say, and I will send a law to y'all. I will get the
please,
all I'm trying to say here is the reason it was not an issue with Ellen, because Ellen was never denied. If Ellen was ever disrespected, you would have had this discussion. If Joseph Boyka, when he was former vice president, was ever disrespected at that airport, and they had sent a bus for him, we would have talked about it. It never happened. And guess what? When it happened to Weah, that's why it was shocking to everybody. Because we were like, this is supposed to be a normal thing. Everybody's supposed to know this is the way the thing is supposed to work. That's all people are saying. There's no fuss here. There's no fuss here. Even President George Weah himself has said that he will go through the regular terminal because he doesn't want no fuss. The only reason there's fuss in there is because it's in the court of public opinion.
Correct. And Togar, nobody said that former president is supposed to have security and certain services. Nobody said that. Nobody naive here.
No, not even
because you're arguing when in a building.
Who talked about that?
No, that Togar. Oh, even in America, the reason why Trump has extra security, right? Whenever you are campaigning in America, especially if you have a large crowd or there's threat to your life, even private citizens in America can get FBI protection. Okay, but that's different from what I'm saying.
Ellis, what I was saying to you, Ellis, what I was saying to you is simple. Okay. The fact that they get securities and other things is all covered under that presidential act. It's covered.
Yes,
it implies also that all the other amenities that you have. But you know the you know that the Broadcast Administration is even denying that George Weah is doing it too. Have you heard former president, former vice president, Taylor even complain? But she been denying all benefits to our former vice president. It's not just George Weah doing it too. They also doing it to. I wanted to mention that. They also doing it to former vice president Taylor. She's not getting any of her benefits.
They're not. To stop.
She was complaining with George Weah when she was vice president that she was not getting certain entitlement, right? It's in the news.
But what happened to you?
Because you are portraying the narrative that George Weah did everything.
I'm talking about what
he gave everybody everything supposed to have. The vice president was agitated, complaining all around the place.
What we are discussing today.
No, it's not a discussion because you're talking about what people are entitled to.
The problem is you always want to
sway us.
Discuss
the issue. Not being personal.
The first thing when George Weah was elected,
you need to discuss issues. Not being personal.
Now you'll be telling her about
if you are weak to discuss the issue, then you go to personality.
We're gonna remove you from the show right now. I'm gonna remove you because this is not right.
But they make everyone back all the time.
I have my opinion. You have the opinion. I have mine. Why you have a problem with me?
Let's move on. You need to let's move on.
When you spoke on your opinion, I didn't say anything about it. You're not gonna bully me.
On this topic, Alex. Thank you for your input on this topic. The two Alexanders. Yeah, thank you for your input on this topic. We are moving on. And we hope that Ben Sanvee will send us the law that says that we are.
I just posted part of that law even in the chat room. It's
but Togar,
but it's a law. It's a law. They don't have to say it's a law.
I won't read it. If it's a law, I can read it.
You will not read it. And you say, "Oh, when I checkmate you when you say something like, go read the law." I know you're going to look for one line in the law to run away again. You look for one line. You're not going there. You LSU.
I'll read
you're not going in there that law at jail form. You will pick up one line and run with it. Why you do this?
If anybody got access to the, I need access to.
No, but right in the chat room, Seriously, Great. They're right in the chat room.
I just put it there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't think you guys should get overheated like that because of this.
Exactly.
And this thing should not divide us because at the end
they may will come back to this subject. You're reading the law now. You can't be
personal. Must you attack everybody? It's very unintellectual for you to attack people instead of the issue. Everybody that disagree with you, then they've got problem.
I'm looking
for the VIP play. What is the former president supposed to get? I'm looking for place in our law. No, I'm going to read it.
All right, now we are not supposed to use the VIP law.
Can we move on? Can you mute these people? Can you mute them? Because they're disturbing. We're going to mute them. Yeah, we're moving on. You know, I don't think we should. I do not think we should take this much time on this. At the end of the day, the Liberian people are suffering. The basic needs of the Liberians have not been met. Men like your Liberian guys, most of the time you just want to have a job. You just want to be able to feed your family, your wife, and be happy. And your children go to good school. And I think that's our focus here. If we take these presidents and start to heal them, Liberia is one of the poorest countries in the world. They have not done nothing to change the lives of that people.
Grace.
I don't think we should be arguing about their business.
Grace.
At all. I
Grace.
don't think so. We are
Grace.
moving on, Ben.
Chris, no, I beg you. I beg you. Because Alex asked, let's just because this is an informative platform, right? Let me read it. It's right
not
here.
long, right?
It's not long. I will just read that portion right here.
Okay.
It's on the travel, right? It's on the where the thing I saw, Jenna. Oh my God, sorry. Because it talks about even what they do, even locally, how they're supposed to have access to presidential palaces across the country. So hold on one second. Anyway, we go right here. Let me find it, Jenna.
I got it here. I got it right here too. So let's read it.
Okay, then read it. If you got it.
I don't see it. You say it's there. Where the president is entitled to VIP. I'm looking for it. I can't find it.
Oh, but I thought you said you saw it.
I don't think we should.
I say I
I
have
don't
the
think we
lawyer.
should
I
keep on.
don't
When y'all
see it.
find it, then y'all read it, but we're moving on.
It's not there.
Today, I think today, it was today, right? Togar.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I got it.
Go ahead.
Privileges of former presidents and former vice presidents. Use of travel facilities.
Mhm.
Former presidents and former vice presidents shall be allowed to use VIP lounges, facilities, and personal.
The thing is something that we know is
Wait,
wrong.
listen, let me finish, please. Former presidents and former vice presidents shall be allowed to use VIP lounges, facilities, and personal, including tarmac side pickup.
Yes.
And drop off whenever they travel in and out of Liberia.
But they pick him up
plane,
to the
on
bus.
the
So
plane.
You know what? You don't. Anyway,
Amen, Grace. Amen, Grace.
It finished.
The person star will drive on the tarmac.
Yes. Ben, go ahead.
All right, we have finished. I
You will not
finished
bring
reading
one
it.
old bus for him to
Let
go
us
pick
move
up
forward.
him.
Let us move forward.
Men are on the show here. We are independent. We're not seditions. We are independent. We just want to be realistic. No, yo, make us straight. Many are on the show.
Can we move forward now?
All
We
we
finish
did
reading
was
it. Y'all asked for me to read it. I just read it.
we
Okay,
just
we're
judge.
moving
We're
on.
not sedition.
Brother,
It's on laws.
We are moving on. The law is there. They say pick up and drop off. They never say you should carry a private car there. They send the bus for him. He sit in the bus and get to his private car.
That is not what it said,
We
Grace.
are moving on.
Grace. Grace, we are on a platform. Our people are listening.
And that's it.
And what section you finding that?
Under the Presidential Act, Section 3.
Yeah, my man.
Privileges of former presidents and former vice presidents.
That's a
Section
simple
3.
question.
Let's move to the next
Lawyer in a bro, you're just angry. Let the people that just angry for all anything.
Section 3. Read the law.
The president disrespect the president.
Let me read it because this is a platform, and let's give the people the information. We shouldn't get
Read it,
personal
Ben.
here, right?
Go ahead.
Section 3 of the Presidential Transition Act. Privileges of former president and former vice presidents. Number 1, use of travel facilities. Former presidents and former vice presidents shall be allowed to use the VIP lounges, facilities, and personal, including tarmac side pickup and drop off whenever they travel in and out of Liberia. The former president or former vice president shall be entitled to use the presidential palaces in the various counties when not in use by the president of Liberia or the vice president of Liberia when they visit the interior of Liberia outside Monrovia in their home counties. Assistance by Liberian missions abroad. Whenever the former president or former vice president travel abroad, the Liberian embassy or consulate in the country of visitation shall assist the former president or former vice president with all protocols necessary for the visit, including but not limited to lodging,
And you say in a
program, appointments, and diplomatic relations.
Okay, thank you very much, Ben. Thank you very
Place it
much.
there.
We are moving forward. They say the president is entitled to drop off and pick up.
That the only thing
Waka
you talking
government, they
about.
pick him up and they drop him off, and we are moving on.
Okay, thank you.
Waka
Praise God.
Foundation. One of our topics today was Togar was the Waka Foundation overnight wishes. They set to donate $450,000 United States dollars of medical supplies to JFK and other medical facilities around the country. So our question is, I never even knew that Waka actually had a foundation that was functionable. I knew the foundation was there. They were not doing anything because the last time we checked, Waka was broke. It was Stanton Westman. I was supporting him. They brought everything here outside. They watched all the daily outside on Facebook. Yeah, and Costa was hustling for money. All what the people were donating to him to survive. That's what they told us. The Papa said he was taking loan to survive. So we never knew that, although it had nothing to do with his foundation, but if his foundation was that rich to not be able to have $450,000 to get medical supply, I want people to come in on this to say, I don't understand where the Boakai actually get the foundation was able to raise their money in 6 months of his presidency, and also he just resigned from the GMB Foundation as head. While he's president, we thought he was supposed to resign before he even ran a campaign. So I want you to come in with your take on this, Ben. I will start with you.
So I have a slight difference. The president of Liberia, first of all, I don't know if this is law, since we're talking law, but it's best practice, right? When you become president or vice president, normally the reason why sitting presidents and sitting vice presidents don't have foundations, and by the way, this is something that I even had a problem with, even in the WEA administration. Vice President Joel Howard Taylor, who is like a mother to me, everybody knows that. I had a difference of opinion on the fact that she had a foundation that she was running, because it is a very thin line for you to be able to avoid conflict of interest. Nobody is not going to be able to say they don't want to support the president foundation or the president or the vice president foundation, right? That's why even in this country, when people become presidents, you don't see them. The only time you see them open foundations is when they're formal, because it gives them the opportunity to be ordinary, regular citizens that can go. You still got influence now, right? Like the Obama Foundation, the Bush Foundation, all of these foundations. But as long as you are carrying on the responsibility that you are in that office, it is a gray area. Now, so it is not, I would not go as far as saying, oh, well, because I did see a clip in the chat room where they said Joe Boyka resigned as chair of the Boyka Foundation, right? But I don't think it is far-fetched to believe that people would not support his foundation. He is the sitting president of Liberia. The only thing I would say is he, as president, should be in the position to say, you know what, since I am now president, because I remember he started the Joe Boyka Foundation when he became former vice president. But the fact that he ended up getting elected president, he probably should have said the foundation will kind of cease its operation until after his tenure to avoid any interest or conflict of interest where you say, oh, somebody. But I don't know, maybe what we need to ask is for the foundation to make public who the donors are to this foundation, right? Because clearly there are donors that are donating to the foundation. Who the donors are, what are their interests, that is what you would do in a more, advanced democracy. Those are the kind of things. It's like the Clinton Foundation. Remember when Hillary Clinton became Secretary of State? When Hillary became Clinton, it was demanded on the Clinton Foundation to make public all their donors. And they had to do it because they were afraid for conflict of interest.
And that's my point. 6 months into his presidency,
yes,
this kind of money come up. We never heard anything much about this foundation. We don't know their tax or the taxes or whatever money that they had generated before he became president. So we look at all these things and is it the right time? What are these people doing? Is it fair to Liberian people? I want you to come in, Chuchu, say something about this, because
okay, let me just
Liberia is a very
use my
strange
time.
country.
My 3 seconds, I will use 1.5 seconds to clarify.
No, you have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes.
2 minutes. So I'll use a minute to say, I'm a man of principle and law. Okay? If you can show me it, if you agree upon it, then it's right. If it's not there, then it's subjective. That means you can look at it one way, I can look at it another way. And lastly, the point of this conversation here is because everybody here got different views. Unless something is established in a dictionary or a law book or something, my brother over there, I think he's a very smart man. I think he's an intellectual, but he has to learn to let other people give their views, and stop being personal. Attack the issue, not the person. Not because you feel that the person
go ahead, man.
Information. Okay, so let be civil.
That is not right.
Let be civil. We take our time to come here. I don't know everything, and that's why I ask for sources. That's what an educated person would do. So in that case, yes, former President George Weah should be allowed, according to law, and he should take the House of Representatives should they should put a what you call investigation into this, and so it doesn't happen. End of story. That's all you did have to do from the beginning. Show the law.
But Chuchu, can I take 2 seconds of your time? 2 seconds of Chuchu time just for me to clarify. The law you're referring to, that law was not even passed. So the law is a presidential transition act in 2024. It was never passed, so there is no law there. Just to be clear.
There's no law. Okay, she made a good point. Now that's a whole nother argument. Now it's not a law. So I was right.
You see, no. Unfortunately, there's a serious problem.
Go ahead and speak.
Okay, let me finish. Because you know, we have to
No, let me tell you about the transitional act. It's an executive order. An executive order is always, it has like 1 year.
Okay. Instead of that arguing and fighting with somebody, then just prove where it was passed and when it was passed, and that's the end of it.
Anyway, you have to
just prove it. That's all. You're making your case. Show us when the act was passed, and we're done. Why are we wasting time on it? All right.
Man, it's an executive order. When you shift it from one president to the third president, the outgoing president can pass an executive order. An executive order is in existence for 1 year. So it's still a law.
You will not
you will say
it's not a law until the law is passed.
No, it's an executive order.
No, it was
a
not
law.
passed. Chuchu, you finish? Go ahead, continue your 1 minute.
Let's continue, man.
So as far as the whole foundation thing, again, I hear people every time when they want to draw reference, they draw reference to America. Oh, even in America, when it suit them, they quick to say, oh, that had to do in America, and they're supposed to get extra. But then when it doesn't suit them, then what they will say, oh, the way you're doing things in America, we get different culture here. Which one is it? I'm confused because you can't say you want to be like America, right?
Lofa
You don't want to follow. You can't tell me one argument. You can't be shifting the goalposts where you want to run a government only when it's convenient for you. Then you say, oh, we'll use our traditional culture or we'll use our traditional, this is Liberia. But then you tear around and say, oh, that had to do it in America, that had to do it in Ghana, that had to do it in other places. So it's a very, confused. You're confused which one you want to use. Determine what system you want to use. The Liberian governance system. It's a country, it has laws. That's the supreme, governance, what you call in the country, the law. People's opinion doesn't really matter. Whether you think it's right or you think it's wrong. That was C4C here on the show the last time. You were educating somebody on the show. He said, not because you feel certain things is right or wrong, that means it is. There's laws. So and so I think if it's illegal for Joseph Boakai to, or it's a conflict of interest, or it violates the ethics of the country, the ethical, thing of the country, then no, then it's wrong. It should be investigated, because it doesn't make sense. Because first of all, when you're president, you should dedicate all your time and your effort to running the country. You shouldn't be into foundation. You shouldn't be raising money on the side for, like what Ellen did, the Ellen Johnson Foundation thing. Then she can't lobby. It's the president it's the government that paying your way to go every place. Even against a president in office writing a book. Why are you using your office to write a book? Leave from or making music. You understand? You should do only things that your job requires, like any other job. And that's the problem we have in Liberia, and that's what we can develop because we don't want to follow the rules. We want to bend it to suit us when it think, and it's just nonsense. Follow the rules. And you don't have any problem.
Thank you. We'd like for Tomalin to come in. Lofa, welcome to the show, my brother. Welcome. Although you sat down there for 15 minutes, at least you see how it feels now. Chief Tomalin, Josh.
Well, on an issue about this foundation, I think it's wrong. You cannot be a sitting president. You have foundation because first of all, you're gonna get all the attention. People, the business people, everybody will just be pouring to the foundation. I think usually when you out of office, that's why Ben said when Clinton was running, she to give a foundation out and take us out of the whole Clinton Foundation. So I don't know what are the again, they come back to the law, the code of conduct. I got to check on it too, because whether it's right to have an active foundation for a sitting president and to be dishing. First of all, where the income, where the support coming from? Well, I mean, we want to see the statements. We want to see all these the sources of income, sources of support, where it's coming from. So I think, and I mean, just that our country is just the way it is, man. People will continue doing the same thing over and over. Why are you having an active citizen president having a foundation that's, I mean, what would the foundation in the last couple of years? What would the foundation? I think if the foundation was the lesson expire, it was during the heat of the campaign before I think it got reactivated. So
wow.
I think we had it on the show yet. On our show, it was expired, and then it was run by the head office was in Rhode Island. The president economic advisor, Cy Johnny, he was the one they were the one behind it, but it wasn't active. Got a lot of humanitarian stuff that would have been a disaster that took place that would have heard that foundation being active, but you come again, while you're sitting as a president, you have a foundation actively and running things. People give you free things because it's all about the connection, the contacts. So I hope they had to call him the ombudsman. I don't know when he had taken position now. I hope he look at that issue and tell the president that, look, I don't think the foundation issue should take your name, get it. They shouldn't be involved with it at all, because the people are looking for another way to just make extra money. So,
but he already resigned his position. But the thing is, the foundation is his.
Yeah, but once it's active, people. I don't care what he say. He's distant from it, because his name was on a foundation. People will give it because the president seeing all those who giving support to the foundation. They're seeing it. Okay, they're seeing all the people that give support to it, and Tomalin George gave support. Okay, I see. Okay, they're seeing it. So I think it should just quit it. I don't know if it should be active. Just wait till he leave office, then you can continue your foundation.
Thank you, Tomalin. And then we'll have Togar come in. The man who shared the draft, then he said passing to law. Man, you can come in.
Don't go there. I told you what makes it a law. An executive order is a law for a specific period of time. An executive order is a law for 1 year. Then you see the War Crimes Code.
That's an executive order.
The War Crimes Code is an executive order from Bwaka. It's a law for 1 year.
The draft is not an executive order, it's an act.
Grace, are you moderating or you're debating? Grace, are you moderating or you're debating?
Because she can engage you. She asking.
It's okay to engage when you're moderating. That's okay to do. Okay, I'm glad that we are trying to clarify that. Thank you.
Because
no, it's okay. It's okay to do that, Grace.
She can engage. She can ask
and that's why I keep on purposely just to highlight that.
So every time when she was leaving, when Ellen was president, she passed an executive order. When George Weah was leaving, he did the same. So what Amra Corner and others are now saying, though it's true, this executive order is already a law, but let's make a law that will be long-term in existence. So that not only when the president is leaving, an executive order is a law for a period.
And Togar, let me just say this. I just want to say this. That very executive order, since your argument that is not law, it was that very executive order that gave rise to the JPTT. The entire process that led to a transition for Joe Boyka to assume the presidency.
The presidency that
it was that executive order that you honor. So that was law. I don't understand why we're trying to make it look like why don't you like George Weah? You like he was president of Liberia.
There's not a dislike thing.
He was president of Liberia.
No, Ben, you make a good point. I agree with you.
It's simple. So why would we do that? That executive order that George Weah had not signed an executive order. No, but I just want because a lot of people are listening to us. A lot of people are listening to us. Chuchu. If George Weah had not signed that executive order, there would not been an inauguration.
You make it a brilliant point, and I agree with you that
it was that law.
Correct. For 1 year, right? It's an executive order for the
transition.
Yes, I agree.
This act is going to make it permanent.
Togar, where he disagreed with everything that I said, even I read I wrong. I agree with he's
let
right
me
on
come
that.
back. Let me conclude on the podcast issue. Let me conclude.
But you know what? You're feeling that thing, Grace. You don't want to say, "Oh, not law." Now you don't want to say that law.
While we're on the show, I will also try again to research the code of conduct because I don't know what the code of conduct actually says about these kind of issues as a certain leader, whether it should be running foundation and all of that. But I think the code of conduct captures certain things about conflict of interest. I think it's clear. And if the president,
it does.
Yeah, so if it has anything to do with conflict of
it says, Togar, it says you can't do any other business, right? Why in certain office of
so that's a violation of the code of conduct of interest.
But can he make the argument? But can the president make the argument? But Togar,
yeah.
Can the president make the argument that he resigned?
Yes.
So he said that on the website.
Of course. But here's the issue, Ben.
The president on the website.
When the foundation was running,
the foundation was maybe they didn't take him off the website. That's my argument. Maybe they didn't take him off the website, but he resigned.
The presence on the website does not qualify you for being an employee. It takes time for all of those processes to take place.
Exactly, he resigned.
No, I disagree with you, Lofa.
I disagree.
Let me finish. This foundation, I remember.
You may be president for 6 months. 6 months. How much time?
Let's do it one at a time, man.
Yeah,
6 months. Why you been there for 3 years before you update the website?
I remember.
While we're talking on this, you need to update. Chris, please, 1 second, please. While we're talking on this, your TCA need to update their flyer because the people who on the flyer that
look how you're deviating from the point. They
can't do that.
That's something we could address in the back. You're literally
I'll stop muting people though.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, please.
Dr. Peabody, you didn't know you could
have different views a different way. Don't tell somebody else how to express themselves. It's rude. You can express yourself how you want and how you think, but you can't tell me how and when to express yourself.
You're now literally
I signed no contract. I signed no contract with you to tell me where I'm supposed to say things and where I'm supposed to say things.
You're deviating from the discussion point here.
What I'm saying, speaking on updates. You the one who came here and say after 6 months, it still should be time for the president to move his name from on the work. You're corporate. You're working in a corporate environment, professional environment. After 6 months, you still got all information on your public website. Are you kidding me?
On your foundation's website.
Yes, he should not be there anymore.
Let me speak to the issue. First of all, I remember vividly that the foundation here could not even provide what they promised the Liberian people during COVID. This was the same foundation that promised a 44 container were going to come with drugs that never landed on Liberian soil. That the foundation to take $450,000. It speaks volume. All right, and I want to agree with people who are saying that it means something funny is happening. The fact that the president. And these are places that people can siphon money. You see, I'm hearing even nowadays, even in some Syria country there around Africa, that through churches, through foundation, people can turn the corrupt money there now. Because they know people don't check on these things like that. Yeah, you can't just wake up one morning and a Guar foundation that could not afford to even bring a 44 container to Liberia is now having $450,000 worth of medical supplies to distribute, even to JFK. JFK that we should put in the budget and adequately fund is the Guar Foundation and are coming to start funding JFK. But it's not surprising to me. This was the same person that they said George Weah was paying only $850 and the money was too small because they got it in the asset declaration or something. And they said the money was too small and he was practically surviving on loan. George Weah had to fly in abroad and all of that. But during the inauguration, they were able to raise over $300,000 to send to people all across Liberia to celebrate. Today, the investigation of that report has not come up to date. The president has not investigated that. These are the same people that right after before the inauguration, I think that when the total episode happened, the president was able to give those people over $50,000 to $75,000 cash, the victims. And everybody was wondering where the president took that money from. Up to today, nobody can tell how and President Bouaga in his private life, who was on loan, were able to, I think the entire bank account is in a same amount. The bank account, I think RB Bank also is in a same 50,000, but at the same money also they may present it to the people in Tapeta.
Thank you, Togar.
In Togar, sorry, yeah. So these are serious concerns. These are the same people that could not even investigate the situation with NASCAR, where 500,000 was taken from NASCAR, was used to buy several SUVs. Some of them are still in the president's convoy. No investigation on them. What's so ridiculous? We're talking about now 450,000 medical supply. I think if the president wants to run an open governance process, the donors of how you raise all those 450,000, how you got those medical, just list them so people can start tracking them and people can start asking some questions. But I think it's wrong for this foundation that could not raise such money before all of a sudden to start raising. I know the next donation will be in millions, and we need to start now. Thank you.
Thank you. So let me tell you now, they see foundation, they see Bouaga foundation, they saw items to they see Bouaga foundation, they saw some items to rehab community. They also, that Katumu shop, she saw relief items to rehab community from the same foundation. They were selling things that are not supposed to be sold to the community. Now they come and get $450,000 worth of things to medical supply to surrounding clinics and GFK in Liberia. The conflict of interest is just, look, this is sad for our country. I will let Dr. Peabody come in, and so he can get his point on this thing. But seriously, Liberians, for us to sit here and argue for this presidential loss, ain't even worth it. Look at the thing going on. Look at the foundation alone. Look at the thing going on in the country. Go ahead.
What I would say here is that this foundation is just another dumping ground for money laundering.
Yeah, to wash their
money to pass through. That's why they are doing that. You know, and we'll see that a lot of money. Probably that foundation may be worth a couple of millions right now since Bouaga took over, because the 300 or 400,000 that he distributed during the election inauguration time came from that foundation. So they are getting a lot of money, a lot of kickback right now they are getting, and they are trying to pass it through that foundation and making it seem like they're doing some charity work or donating medication. Why the government can't find money and buy medication for JFK? Why they can't find money and help other hospitals? That's what they are doing. There's a lot of money that is coming in. This is the man that ran on everything President Weah did. He has something to say. Everything, every little thing that happened in the CDC government, Joe Bouaga had was there to criticize. And yeah, I said today, corruption is just growing up and growing up. I mean, I'm telling you, it's getting really large. Everywhere now, there's corruption in this government. Everywhere you turn, there's some kind of money missing or some kind of misuse. PPCC is of no value again. There's no value to them. And they are going after even individuals, attacking them and trying to remove them. But this foundation should not even be, Bouaga should not even be sitting there to say he resigned. Was there any publication that President Bouaga resigned from the foundation, or he turned the foundation over to somebody to run the stuff?
Thank you.
There was nothing.
Excellent point. Excellent
nothing point. What was stated that he had resigned. He did not say it. He's still on top of the foundation. It's just another dumping ground for money laundering and a lot of corrupt money to come through. Those who want to tip him or who want to give him money and stuff like that for jobs and stuff. That's why he's using that foundation.
So he can wash it off. Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a disgrace. That's the man who he's the rescue train
the most honest man I ever
lived. The most honest man who worked in government for 40 years. He's going after individual. He's attacking private citizens and stuff like that. People who got, every time I think about what they did to former Foreign Minister Kimia, I get so upset. Because why are you standing in the way? You said that as a leader don't take side, a leader take control. And apparently the president now is just taking complete. Look, I'm part of a group. We approve thousands of dollars to go to other people around the world. I'm part of that. Somebody asked me one time in that organization, said, Peabody, why haven't you put in to get some money? I said, you know what? It's a conflict of interest, and my foundation will not do it because I'm sitting on that team. We read a lot of proposals at church and approve $20,000 to $30,000. I'm on that team. I have a foundation. I need the money. Definitely I need it. But because I'm sitting on it and it's a conflict of interest, I will not do it because I know what we put people through to get it. And I know people would tell me, they will sit in the back, and talk in the back. Why is he doing that? He's on the board. And they asked me 3 times. I said, it's a conflict of interest. And they don't know that Bwaka is just another corrupt leader. Old man that were rewarded with a big time retirement package and he's enjoying.
Yep, thank you, Dr. Peabody. But I also know that
spoke to Lofa today,
I also know that
what?
The platform.
I said Peabody talked to Lofa today.
So I also
You're causing trouble today.
I also know that the foundation the foundation put the Baka put the foundation on his assets declaration.
No.
Anybody know whether the foundation on his assets
No.
declaration?
You see, the other host here more than the rest of the
private foundation.
Yeah, I have a difference of opinion.
Oh, he has to put the foundation on his assets declaration. Why not?
No. So can I come in now?
No.
He didn't take salary from the foundation.
But the man said, okay, how do you know he didn't take salary from it? Have you seen Ben? Have you seen the foundation financial report? Ben?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No.
Why you run a foundation? Okay, how you run a foundation? There's no financial report. As a former vice president.
So I agree with you on that. That's why I say I was gonna say I take back the fact that I said that he didn't take salary, right?
Okay, thank you.
But let me take that back. But what I'm trying to say here is I don't think he has to put it on his assets because it's a non-profit.
But
right?
he didn't take
It's
salary
a
on the
non-profit, but
foundation.
he's the founder of the foundation.
You don't know that.
Yeah,
I know
He's
that.
the founder of the foundation. So
but let me say this. Right now, what we're discussing is the fact that
moderating or
he is no longer
because he's talking. I have to answer you. You need to let me be.
She moderating and debating at the same time.
That was style, though.
That's her style of moderating.
Oh, that's her style. Oh,
That's her style of moderating.
When you moderate, you do whatever you want to do. So let her do what
Can I come in now, Grace? It's my time.
But I would say he resigned as chair of the board because he was chairman. That was his title.
Do you have any public evidence for that?
He just resigned.
It was on the executive mansion. It was on the executive mansion website.
Yeah, I think he did.
That letter of resignation.
Yeah, no, Alex, it's on the executive mansion website that he resigned as chairman of the board.
When did he resign? When did he resign?
I will find it. I will share it with you.
A couple of weeks after he became president. Yes.
He should have resigned in the
Okay, then if you resign, what was saying?
He didn't have a time in that foundation anyway.
That was
If he resigned,
April 15, 2020.
If he resigned, General.
Pewee, come in, brother.
Yeah, thank you, my dear sister. You read my reading very well today. Thank you.
Thank you.
You see.
But again, let me vehemently disagree with all of what you guys said already about this foundation process. This process is a non-profit. Now, the article of incorporation of this foundation basically is a non-profit. And when the former vice president and the current president of the Republic of Liberia initiated, you remember he did very well with the YMCA process as president of the YMCA, the LORC, and all those times. So he been having the thought process about humanitarian activities, and I want to commend him here. There's a time he had discussed this process in Lofa. I'm clear and convinced that the former president, the former vice president, the current president did not take salary as head of that foundation. Actually, no. And I can still recall there was a time, even when he was vice president, when he visited Phoenix, Arizona, then I was staying in Arizona, when he met with certain individual, some humanitarians, and he started talking about this process, about this foundation issue he was bringing out. And for the public record, the current president of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Human Boakai, resigned from this foundation process. And I will be one of those that will come and amplify my tune this evening on his behalf. He did everything from the standard, from the article of incorporation that was incorporated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic. It was clear that this is a non-profit. He didn't take salary on this process. He set this basis to help the destitute Liberians. And part of the reason why this thing going to spread across the country to hospitals, including the JFK hospital, the maternity center there, also the Japanese Liberian French hospital. It is meant to help the people of Liberia. There's nothing about corruption here. The president didn't declare this part of his assets here.
When the last time the published that? When the last time the published
it book about men neo progressive to sound like it. Today in that sedition.
No, listen. I said to you, Togar,
now the men are sedition. When
I said to you, I said to you,
he's not.
I said to you, Togar,
I'm not finished a statement.
Togar, I said to you before and us on this show. Basically, I'm now a citizen of Captain. I sympathize with George. We are supporting him during the election. That's a record I need to get clear. But I would declare also to protect and defend individuals that are know certain things. Not everything I'm going to agree with what you say, right? Sometimes you may just a career opposition, and I don't want to be in that line, right?
And that is the beauty of this platform.
Exactly. But I'm convinced here. The current president role, and it was good that he resigned. There was an open disclosure here. There's nothing sinister that he did in this process. I will defend him to the core on this line that all of these things that are coming to the country is going to be the people of our country are going to benefit from them. So he made things very clear. That's why when he became president of the country, he came out and clarified. And the code of conduct did not talk about there's nothing he's benefiting from. This is a non-profit organization. And that's why he's not expected. The organization does not pay taxes to the Liberian government for everything. Even those medical materials coming to the country, there's going to be duty free. Actually, no taxes.
Who's donating
them? Come again?
Who's donating those medical supplies?
Okay, that way you're going to fund that. And listen, the organization, that's the president, that's the machine announced, right? We have individuals that are now it is not incumbent on us to ask more questions, and that is something we encourage us to do that. But I'm saying here, the president's hands are very clean in this line. It's not the president is not doing anything to benefit anything whatsoever, to have nothing.
So what you saying, you follow the right process, right?
He followed the right process, and there's not a conduit to launder money, as Dr. Peabody, you wrote me on this stated just now. I thought we needed to come out and correct these things, and the rest of that. This is done for humanitarian purposes.
Thank you very much. Lofa, we want you to come in, please.
Let Lofa come in.
Well, thank you, Grace. Let me start off with the gross disrespect to the former president, with the refusal of allowing him to use the part of the airport that I guess everybody should use. This is just simple respect to the office of the president. It was gross disrespect. I think in order for us to set precedents, remember, we dress up for the job we want, not the job that we have today. So in order to respect the office, I don't think it takes away anything from anybody to allow President Weah access to that or terminal, however way he wants to come to the VIP lounge, wherever he wants to go, just to maintain the sanity of our, the governance process and other things that needs to go on. No, it takes away nothing. But what I'm gathering and information that I'm gathering about why this man is being denied access to the executive lounge is simply because Medilla Cooper, in other words, is refusing because of whatever reason. But I'm not going to speak lengthy on that because to some extent it's just speculation. I have no factual information to that.
So that war on the streets?
I'm sorry?
Is there war on the streets?
That's what I just said. It's just mere speculation. But anybody who can think for themselves will actually say, you know what, it could be taken into consideration that probably that could be the reason as to why this is happening. But I think this man is being disrespected. This should not be the case. I am one person who disagree with his governing style. I don't think he actually represented Liberian as a leader. He is definitely incompetent, but regardless of that, Liberian elected him, and I think he should be given due respect every time and any time he's opportune to occupy anywhere that have to do with what leadership of that. Now, to speak to this issue of the current president, Dr. Peabody, allow me to use these words from you. This is a conduit a means of being able to siphon the money of innocent Liberians who cannot afford admission to the public medical institutions. They're not doing it because he cares. Remember, this is a president who actually rubbed shoulders with a felon, a convicted felon, who relied on a convicted felon in Stanton Weatherspoon for survival just a few months ago. His entire survival was heavily upon the shoulder of Stanton Weatherspoon, allegedly, statement from Henry Costa. We did not see this level of support. How are we to authenticate those?
Julius, 1 minute is not alleged. Stanton confirmed it on his show that he was supporting, he was giving money.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I have heard that. So then it's factual if Stanton, admitted to that. But here's the thing, though, we don't have the mechanisms put in place to whether validate or even authenticate those who are part of this entire foundation. Who are the donors? What are the interests? Ben spoke to it earlier. He highlighted that part. And we continue to ignore that, and we want to focus on, just the sidebar part of the entire process. Whether he resigned and he took his name off the website, those are not the concern right now. The concern is going forward. Would he be as transparent as possible to make available those donors? Make the name of those donors available. Let us know those who are working for the foundation. Who are the beneficiaries and how are they actually supplying these beneficiaries? These are the kind of things that we want to know, because we want to see the transparent aspect of this foundation, because the foundation should be operated based on his motto, what he believes in as a leader. He told us he will be a transparent leader and a man with integrity. So
thank you, Jesus.
I want to agree with that, to agree with Peabody. He is absolutely correct to say this is a conduit through which they will be able to just funnel funds and be able to use it for whatever reason they feel like it's in their best interest. But this is not what happened. President Boycott did not run a foundation few months ago. He may have been a part of a group of people who claim they have foundation, but we didn't see how Liberians benefited from it. This is how they do things today as we speak. The typical behavior of these politicians, let me just land on this note. Excuse me, please. The typical behavior of these Liberian politicians today, Jeremiah Cohn is building in Nima County a 100-bedroom hospital. 100-bedroom hospital. Jeremiah Cohn is erecting a 100-bedroom hospital in Nima County. Jeremiah Cohn will come to you and tell you at least the money that is being used for Liberian. Just like the previous individual did. I just forgot his name. The one who worked with President Boycott. George Weah. This is the trend. They use these things because they understand Liberians will remain submissive, and we will continue to allow them to bamboozle their way through the system. But I think this entire process of the foundation, it should literally be boycotted. People should not accept this to happen. And if it happens, we want some level of transparency. And President Weah should not be disrespected going forward. He should be given privilege to every facility that he is privileged to. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We want to welcome Robert Garguah. I know he had to show up on the show. I demand to just remove him so we can continue the show, but we can't do that here because this is a professional show, so I will allow here 2 minutes for him to come in. Robert, welcome.
Thank you, Grace. I'm driving. I'm not going to be on the, but I'm enjoying you. Every time one person speaks, then you speak again. Every time one person speaks, you speak. You see, our hosting is very nice.
Well, I don't speak too long like you, but Robert, I don't go too long.
Hosting is so good that people about it, but she was attacking my hosting style. But every time someone speaks, she speak. Then someone speaks, then she speak. But listen here. I wanted to come on and give my take on this nonprofit organization and how the former president has been treated. Remember, this nonprofit, from my understanding, have existed for a long time. I still don't know what kind of impact his organization have made on in the lives of people like this. I don't know, right? I know that as a nonprofit operator myself, I know that a lot of donors are answerable to people who support them, and so perhaps the organization have updated the impact they've made, what they've done with the funds raised, directly to those who have donated to them, right? But what really caught my attention here was when Joseph Boakai knew that he was president-elect of the Republic of Liberia. Why did Joseph Boakai not begin the process of putting together a structure where he would no longer be a part of that organization? The president did not, he just recently resigned. And to the argument of some of you here, it was just a statement. And this statement came directly from the executive mansion. This statement did not come from the organization. This statement did not come from the new CEO or the new leader of this organization. None of that. There was a statement posted on e-mansion that the president had resigned from the JMB Foundation. This is not a norm. The JMB Foundation, I understand he's president now, but if the JMB Foundation was a professional NGO, by standard, the professional NGO should have released a statement that the president had resigned his role as co-founder or founder and CEO of this organization. And so it was just interesting that this did not happen. And if I was Joseph Boakai, I would have resigned even before I even got before my inauguration. Why did the president not resign before his inauguration? And so how sure are we that the president is still not playing an active role in this organization? A lot of former leaders and current leaders do have organizations. But the proper way here is that they recuse themselves, they resign, and the general public is aware of the new leadership structure that is in place. All of these informations are public record. But as we speak, I don't know any organization or any Liberian that have benefited from the JMB Foundation. It doesn't mean that that's not the case, but I would think, or I would have expected, given this president's experience, that he would do the right thing and they will understand what that process looks like to answer public questions. So until they do that, we still don't know. Joseph Boakai could be still conducting meetings for all we know. We don't know. We don't know the website of JMB Foundation. We don't know. So we don't know how active it is. The second point I want to make here is, and I know myself, when I finish speaking, I grow will speak again. So let me just say this.
Yeah, but just you got 10 seconds.
I'll come in. Oh, I got 10 seconds. I'll come in, hurry up. Yeah, host is sweet, though, but I respect the host. The 10-second here is this. The fact that the former president has been on numerous occasions. The former president, this is the former president. We're talking about security risk here. The fact that the former president has continued to use the normal exit and entrance of the airport, and the president of Liberia have not issued a statement condemning this act, or our lawmakers have not summoned those who run the airport to question why the former president has continued to use the regular exit and arrival and departure entrance of the airport. It raises a lot of questions. Do we take our leaders for joke? This is a separate issue. I watched the video the last time where the president came from Ghana. In Ghana, he's accorded the proper VIP standards. In Ghana. Why is it in Liberia the former president, have to exit and come through the regular entry? Anything can happen. Anything can happen to the life of the president. Then who do we hold accountable for that? What will happen there? So I don't understand how we take our VIP for George. George Weah, by standard, is a VIP in Liberia. He's a VVIP. And he should always be treated as such. He should always be treated as such. And
Thank
so
you, Garguah.
a lot of security quite concerns, and I hope that this government and those who run the security apparatus in our country, I hope they really, really address it. This is wrong. It should not be happening. Thank you.
Completely. This is totally wrong. It shouldn't be happening. But in the meanwhile, they send the bus for him. He received it.
Hosting
There,
is
and then they went. So it is where. As soon as I got.
Who took Grace off? She coming D-Way.
No, now, what you done now?
Now, what you done there? She coming D-Way, yo.
I really prayed our own internet.
Other people hosting.
That Julius, they won't put me in. God, they don't have no respect for God. God's disrespect to the people on the platform. Right now, and they take
somebody talking in the back. I said, Pewee. Pewee, you got to mute yourself, my man.
Your passcode again.
Pewee for the goddamn.
Can I come in? Can I get my view on this?
I think that's Pewee.
That's not me. Yeah, Peabody. Chris, can I come in? I got some breaking information for you guys, okay?
You got breaking news?
I will use my time.
Pewee, is that your bank? Pewee, is that your bank account?
All right.
Is that your bank account, Pewee?
He can't hear you. Pewee.
Garguah, you said that the statement was real.
Yeah.
Garguah.
We hear your whole bank account, you know.
Your whole bank account passcode.
No.
All I think you put it is that we heard. I want you to get your account.
No.
Garguah.
They say you're checking balance. You're checking balance.
That code is reading. Code.
Okay, we just make it so.
We know how to see that till you finish.
That code.
All right, guys. Let me get. So I did a little reading, digging, and Garguah, you said the president just posted that, right? That he resigned. I don't know the date because I don't see it.
It's been less than a month since that.
Okay. Okay. So yes, my point of view.
April 15.
Right?
April 15.
Okay.
There you go.
Right. So in this case, the president maybe it was announced on that date, but he did it earlier. And the only way to prove that is through documentation. When you read a letter, that's what is a date. So he should have written a letter, right, upon assuming office that he's resigning as the chairman of the Joseph Boyka Foundation. So that is completely wrong. It's against the code of conduct. And actually, I wanted the first part in it. I'm reading it here, the code of conduct, where it said an act of the legislature. So was it passed or not, Togar?
The code of conduct was passed, of course.
Okay. I didn't want to make sure. Like I said,
let's get this straight here. What portion of the code of conduct are you reading there?
I usually put it so eat there while I talk. Okay.
So you got to put
the first part. Okay.
What portion are you reading? Let me
put it in the chat room.
No, okay.
Right here. Listen now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I put it right in the act. I know where it passed, but it's right there.
No.
I got some serious information, guys.
No. What portion are you reading from?
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Let's see if he can do the people.
No.
I'm reading part 1, section 1.1, right? B. Okay. And it says no person holding public office. Well, it says a person, whether elected or appointed to any public office, should engage in any other activity which should be against public interest or constitute.
Should engage or should not engage?
Or constitute a conflict of interest. If you're raising money for medical thing for the country, that's a conflict of interest.
Okay.
Right? Okay. The breaking information I have on the website of the JMB Foundation, Joseph Boyka Jr. is also a board member.
Oh my
God. So
God.
now the president, right there, okay, he's one of the board member on the foundation board. Yeah, right. It said Joseph Yima Boyka, born 78 in Monrovia.
But his son, though.
So he should put his son on the
listen
board
now.
of
So
the
yes, my
foundation?
point. Yeah. So Ben, yes, my
Why
point.
cannot put my daughter on the board of my
Okay, guys, come on now.
foundation?
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong to put your but you gotta listen. Ben, you guys gotta. We can listen to you guys. You're chill here. Yes, my point. Let me give you my point. why I think it's illegal, right? Number one, there's evidence that you chairman of the board. The board is bringing in, is soliciting and getting donation on behalf of the country, right? Your son is on our board or director. That's the impediment, you know what I mean, that of conflict of interest, because who's to say that his son is not getting any kind of a special, you know, the organization is not being given money because it's the president's son or because it's the president's foundation. That's the reason I would think that he and his immediate family members, and I think it's in the code of conduct too, you can read it there, where about immediate family members and stuff doing business with the government. So that's, but let me just say the last one here. I think also, to be fair, Ellen did the same thing in terms of foundation while she was president. She
doesn't mean it's right though.
No, I'm not. No, it's not right. But I know her son was on a foundation. Hold on, her son was on a foundation, the doctor one, right? I said, Ben, you'll be running in front of me like.
No, but you said she did it. No, she
yeah,
didn't.
But let me tell you what she did now. Let me tell you what she did that I have a problem with. When you have it's in a conflict of interest doing business with your own family member, when you have your son heading the board of directors, raising money for projects in a country that you are governing, that's a conflict of interest.
Right there.
That's my point.
I don't know how high
when you press it.
When Alex finish, I want to come in, please. I don't want to call him.
Right. So no, what I'm saying, that's how I see, because conflict of interest can be anything. In fact, it's stated clearly. It doesn't mean that you stealing because you still on the board of director while you minister of finance. But once that board or that organization is doing anything in the public eyes, right? Like receiving money for the government or hospitals or stuff like that, which are the responsibility of the government, Ministry of Health. So there's a conflict between the two. So like somebody really said, if an organization wants to get like broad money or medicine or whatever, now they have to choose between Joseph Boyka organization, which his son is on, or directly the Ministry of Health. So I don't even think that foundation should exist.
We make him talk.
So that's just my point. It's conflict of interest issue.
We have foundation, so you're not just did it. Ben, you can come in for a 30 seconds and we'll move on.
Okay, so I just want to say,
we're still moving on.
And it's my understanding he appointed a new guy.
So I just want to say
why he was resigning.
Okay, so my only thing I want to say though is this. That's why I think I said previously, the foundation should not be operational, because all of these questions will come. There's speculation, his son there, all these people. For me, I think that's why the best thing to do now is to demand for them to publish. Well, I don't think they will do it, but you can ask for them to publish who their donors are, who is donating to this foundation. But I don't think there's anything wrong with his son being on his foundation. The only problem we have here is that he's running the country, like you said, Alex. He's running the country now. So when he starts to run the country, I think the foundation needed to cease its operation. With Ellen didn't have a foundation when she was president. And the thing you're talking about her son, I don't think that was even his foundation. I think he was a part of a group of doctors that used to go to Liberia on a yearly basis to render services to people at JFK. That was not his foundation.
It was, yes.
He was just a part of a group of doctors that used to come from the US. And they would come to do, but Ellen never ran a foundation. Ellen only started her foundation when she became, when she left.
No problem with that.
Yeah, so there was nothing. Ellen didn't do that. That was the same thing that happened during the WEA administration. You had the Claire Foundation, you had the Joel Taylor Foundation. All of those things, it's a gray area, because even if you're not stealing, even if nobody doing anything wrong, the fact that you are in that position, of trust like that, it raises those.
And last, Ben, let me say this. Yeah.
The impetus to be able to say the thing.
Malahos, I just want to make the last point here that
I'm giving you 10 seconds.
The president. Yeah, thank you. The president has not published one financial statement for that foundation. And he claimed that, they got acres of land, they're doing farming and agriculture. And none of your other political parties they attack any of those things. How you can be running a foundation, no financial statement published, And you all see that the experienced man, that the man who be in government, or you ain't gonna go to government or Togar, you gotta be like brother, know that one. You're supposed to publish an annual financial statement for your organization.
Thank you very
so
much. And the thing is that I know Ben saying that he see nothing wrong with that, but it's a conflict of interest for your son to be on the board or your foundation, especially when you're setting precedent. Even if
I agree with you,
even if you are not setting precedent, it just bring even people.
But if you're not setting precedent, nothing wrong with it.
You said they would just start to think, but they mean so it's just too much of it. So sometimes it's not that it's wrong. But what is the right thing to do?
Great, the thing your daughter in your foundation.
My daughter is not.
But she's not public figure.
No, but that's my point. That's my point. So when Joseph Boyka named his foundation with Jojo, he wasn't a public figure. He was former vice president.
But I say he just said he resigned, which is not even factual because there's no evidence to support that. And on the website, he's still chairman.
It's 7:30. I want to thank you guys for being
There's nothing
here.
wrong about
Very engaging topics and interactions. And we thank you all for the respect of one another. Though you already showed me gross disrespect, but I already will just accept it and we'll move on. But I hope moving into the next 30 minutes, just you respect me on this platform. I will demand it because I'm not going to take any disrespect for anybody.
That's an express order.
Grace, can I go next? I can go, please. Next in the next topic, please. Let me say my piece and I'll go, please.
In the next topic before we come on.
Where you go the next topic?
You want to say your piece before we go to the next topic?
Oh, when we get to the next topic now.
Yeah, then you can. Then I will let you come in first. Okay. You see, my business on her. That is, and her. So, Representative Todd Womble.
Hey man, just wanted to.
They may step on here paying for
I know, right?
Representative Todd Womble and the Speaker of Fanati Kofa. They are on each other throats, on each other kusepoi, like Brenda say. They're talking each other kusepoi right online. And for me, I liking it because we're getting to know what's going on in our House of Representatives because we want to know that Brentford deserves the right to know. Todd Womble is claiming that he was the one that popularly helped Kofa to become Speaker. He helped him with that position because he was able to lobby people, bring people together in the house to be able to vote into that position. And he said, although he respects Kofa, but he will never be a secret friend to Kofa. Rather, he will hold the Speaker foot to the fire. Everything he promised, he will do it for them. He said on June 25th, he wrote that the Speaker made an error publicly. He seized a matter without allowing any debate. He seized a matter without allowing any debate. And this was a sensitive issue on the floor, and it is against the rule of the House of Representatives for him to do that. He had a problem with it. He came on he publicly spoke about it. Then he had a few counts that he has against the Speaker of the House, saying that he could not be with the executive. He promised to hold the executive accountable as an opposition speaker and also to be independent. But instead, he said the Speaker is in bed with the executive. That's why we are hearing myself when I went to like, I heard that thing there on the streets. The boy just talking in Broad Street and they was talking and said, that Speaker there, he in bed with the executive. So Todd Womble not confirm it. That's why I said everything you hear in the street, don't take it for granted. Then they said that he's in bed with the executive, and they say he in consultation with the Minister of State, and also I want to read, and also the President. He compromises and he compromises you. He said this compromises you and dilute your independence. We want to know details. Why is it that the Speaker now is in close friendship and close communication and doing everything that the executive want him to do? Todd Womble say he wants to know. He needs to come out to the public. He also talked about the budget alteration by the MFDP. The Speaker is presiding over this as a lawyer. So there was an alteration on the budget. So the House of Representatives see an apparent 4.7 million budget line shifted to 20 million that was taken from the budget with presidential project level on them. He needs the Speaker to clarify this to the public and say something about it. He needs action. He also spoke about the House audit. He said that the Speaker promised transparency in the full audit of the House. Until today, there has been nothing done. The gossip is that the Speaker is protecting the former Speaker. There you go. they voted for this man to be an opposition.
Grace, Guar.
You said it.
Y'all give me my grace. That summary was powerful. Yeah, you summarized that letter very well.
When I hear
did justice to that letter. Yeah.
When I hear all people now coming to say this to the public, we want to know. Ben Sanvee, we'll let Garguah come in on this because he has to go. We want
Thank
to
you.
know.
Thank you. I think that's the best premise I've seen in a long time. But let me say this. First of all, I have got to say that
I hope there's nothing that changed for them getting you a lot in the first term. Right?
I said, Mr. Neo-Progressive, please, sir, can I get my two minutes?
No, you got to have 2 minutes. I'm just saying you press it because they let you to go. You say that's the best. So it's kind of like that, but go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, Neo-Progressive.
Garguah speak. No man, Slyvester.
Listen, I gotta give credit to Todd Wambe. I think that the fact that Todd Wambe was able to come out and express his disagreement with the speaker, I think is commendable. Given the fact that he's a new lawmaker, he's a new representative, and he has been rewarded to some extent for the role he played in the speaker's election. He's the fourth ranking member of the House of Representatives, and he's a leader in the House of Representatives. And so a lot of politics could be at play here. And so I give him credit for coming out and expressing very strongly his issues or disagreements with the speaker. Now, if I was advising Todd Wambe, I don't know what efforts that were made behind closed doors to really engage the speaker. I probably would have, encouraged further behind the scenes engagement, maybe a one-on-one talk, as opposed to coming on social media, because the issues that were raised, those were very, very important issues, and those were issues that I believe should have been raised internally, before coming on social media. He did say that he attempted to raise those issues, and the speaker have not listened to him. But I commend him for that, and I hope that the speaker addressed these issues, which he did in his letter. I thought that the speaker response to Todd Wambe, I thought was really belittling for me. I mean, he attempted, and he attempted to tell Todd Wambe literally that you're a little boy, and that you are new to this role, and there are certain things that you just don't understand yet. That's what that was about. He also said in a very intelligent way, and he told the Liberian people that Todd maybe should attend these hearings and sections more so to understand the workings of the legislature, and I thought that was belittling to some extent, right? And for me, with that, I was disappointed in the speaker, because again, if Todd Wambe is your little brother and you felt like Todd Wambe is not following legislative processes, or he does not understand certain things, I don't think that the response to Todd Wambe's Facebook post, I don't think it should have been that way. He also did not like the fact that Todd went to Facebook to talk about these issues. But what makes the speaker any better, if the speaker took similar actions to address publicly what Todd Wambe addressed publicly on Facebook? It's counterproductive. It just didn't make any sense, right? But I thought that the response was belittling. I thought that Representative Speaker Kofa basically asserted himself as, I'm your teacher, and I'm a lawyer. I'm an experienced lawmaker, and there are certain things that you have indicated that I will never do yet, right? I thought it was very, very belittling. I thought it was condescending to some extent. But I really do hope that they are able to resolve this matter, and they're able to move on with this issue. But there were many issues that were raised by Todd Wambe, and I'm hoping that these issues are addressed by the speaker.
Thank you so much, Garguah. Thank you for being on. Thank you for the sacrifice we make all the time to be here. Ben, you can come in.
So first of all, let me state, and I listen to Robert. I think, and I speak from the perspective of knowing the two gentlemen in question here, very close to both of them, to a certain degree, extremely close, that then I probably may even want to let up publicly. I think personally, I think that there was a lapse of judgment with Tar going public the way he did. The issues that he raised were legitimate concerns, but the speaker also, in his response, right, answered some of those things. And I think the only reason the speaker came out publicly was because the manner in which Tar, did it. He did it publicly. So he felt, because the things that were outlined in Tar's post were direct accusations and direct things that he was accusing the speaker of doing. So the speaker felt that he had to come out to answer in a public manner. With that being said, I'm all for people holding leaders accountable. That is, and I'm very clear about that. And I don't think, and I know Tar very well. Tar is extremely calculated. He's a very smart young man. He's very progressive. He knows what he's doing. But I think the portion, and plus, remember now, he's just been in the leadership of this of the House of Representatives for a few months, because I think they got elected sometime in January or so and stuff like that. I think normally, like Robert said, I think this thing should have been worked on internally. Like, giving an example, the issue of the audit of the House. In the speaker response, the speaker said, I have already given the go-ahead to the General Auditing Commission. I do not control their schedule at this point in time on when they will start their process. So that was not an accusation. That was not the speaker's fault, right? If the speaker of the House has said, listen, you're coming here and go ahead and audit us, it's now left with the GAC to be able to put it on their schedule to come out. Just one example I'm giving. All in all, overall, I think the two of them, from what I have been told from credible sources, I think the two of them have spoken. They have come to an understanding. Now, there may be more coordination. Sometimes these fights are necessary, right? Sometimes it's almost like a friendly firing thing. I don't think anything is here from a perspective of, of somebody is in bed with the executive. And I like what the speaker said in his statement. We got to also understand that the speaker is the speaker of the House of Representatives. He is from the opposition political party, but he has, the way the Constitution works is that there are three separate, equal, coordinating branches. So this notion that the speaker is just supposed to reject everything that comes from it, and that's not what I'm saying.
That was not what Tar was saying.
No, but let me. Now I'm about to say that. That's not what I'm saying. That Tar was saying. But there are people who believe that because the speaker is from the opposition, nothing is supposed to pass in the House of Representatives when it comes to from the executive, right? So all I'm trying to say here is all of the things that Tar raised, I think there were some legitimate things in there, but I think at the end of the day, he could have gotten his answers privately. And I think he understands that. I think they both understand that. They both understand he played a pivotal role in getting the speaker elected. He was a strong member. I think he was even one of the leaders of the speaker campaign team. So he felt obligated that he had to do it in a way. He felt like he had to, because if you even read his post, he said, I'm still loyal to you, right? He says, I'm still loyal to you, but I'm not going to be a secret fan. I just think there was a lapse of judgment that I think he should have done it internally.
Thank you.
And be able to, to be able to get the thing. But I can speak to you clearly and say they both have spoken.
Thank you, Ben.
And they are doing it, and they are working coordinating. They are coordinating effectively.
Thank you. People, you need to wait a little bit because I have to come in before I bring anybody else. And I respect Tar Wombe for his stance. And the House of Representatives is not here for friendship. I really disagree with his statement when he said he's loyal to anybody. You shouldn't be loyal to nobody. You should be loyal to Liberia. And I sure he said that in one of his posts that he put in Liberia first in a way he said it, not forbidden as I've seen it right now. And that's the right thing to do. I sure Tar Wombe, being intelligent as he is, when it comes to the issue, because I don't know him personally, I feel that he's intelligent when it comes to the issue. Being the intelligent person that he is, I'm sure he went behind the scenes and he was trying to talk to this speaker. And apparently the speaker wasn't listening. And it's not a bad thing for them to put it out in the public. We need to know, bro, it's a mess. When things like that going on, and the speaker of the House, who is the head of the House, and also is an opposition speaker, and he start to say yes or man to the executive, then we worry about that.
But that's not what's happening.
We want to come out and tell the public what's going on, so now we know. So we'll be watching the speaker keenly So that's how you can come in, and then after that, Tomalin, George.
Yeah, thank you. I think I'm very this. It's frustrating, quite frankly, to listen to Tawome coming out for the speaker that you were in the camp, serve as foot soldier for this process the way he did, and part of what he said in that long post he did from Abuja, Nigeria. But yes, what because basically most of the counts he brought out when the speaker countered him and the speaker slapping in the face by saying to him, reminded him, he said it's because in bed with the government. The speaker reminded you were just on the plane taking picture of the president going to Seoul. How can we interpret that, right? So can we now come to interpret this process to be this? And his talkers talk about this process, about their benefits. And the speaker reminded he had not been going to a section. You see, this whole thing, he had not been going to section. That's why he don't even know about what is unfolding in the House as a fourth-ranking president. Because the benefit process has been sorted out. The benefit process now with the Ministry of Finance, the allotment is almost prepared, and everything going to come out for the full benefit to come in. So it was most of those basic things that he came out from. But again, we are reliably told from some unimpeachable sources that Tai is trying to blackmail the speaker here by all of what he's tried to do. He's been demanding some things behind the same, and that
No,
listen, Ben.
That gas on the street, we can't talk about gas.
No. Let me tell you why I'm arresting that. Let me tell you why I'm arresting.
That's why I said reliably, right?
Let me tell you reliable information. I know the speaker personally. I know Ta personally, and I've confronted the speaker on this issue. In fact, the speaker was very upset with the fact that people were even insinuating something like that about Ta.
And that's what I'm saying. They reported about newspaper. That's what
I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, and you are a prominent voice in the society. I don't want you to elevate that, because I can tell you with all certainty there's no blackmail going on here.
Okay, there's no blackmail, granted. But why would two men, as you say, you believe in them? Did you read the post from Ta Wumbe, and did you read it? Did you digest?
But there was no that. But it doesn't have to do with blackmail.
No. How can you say you're loyal to someone and you came to expose them that they've been very incompetent?
But that's what I'm saying. There was a difference.
Where's the loyalty when somebody's saying you're proving that someone is incompetent?
Pewee, you heard me clearly say that I believe there was a lapse of judgment on Ta's part.
Okay, that's what you believe, and your belief will not be my belief.
But I don't want you to elevate the thing about he wanted 300,000.
No, I didn't call him out.
Because that was in the news. Okay. And that's not true. The speaker
it's okay now, brother.
Let me pivot from that. Maybe you don't want to accept that, but and for the sake of that, for the sake of the debate, but again, that's my disappointment. As lawmaker, we prepare to come and to do the Burnpool business. But if both the speaker, the head of the national legislature, and the chief administrator of the House of Representatives, and the fourth-ranking president, in terms of the leadership there, in the kind of a vehement water war, it throws some major concern. But it's good now that you're saying he close to the both men and the rest of that, they try to face it, but they already washed their clothes outside.
No, it's fixed.
It's fixing the rest of that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Pewee, that new progressive we're talking now. Just stand down on it.
Ben, you interrupting the show.
No, Pewee, no, I'm talking to Pewee.
I will stand down.
Thank you, Pewee. Thank you very much.
And that's it. No, we don't need that kind of thing for like, bro.
Man, Grace, leave me go. You don't need that kind of thing for like, bro. Story, man.
Quickly. Should continue to speak on the ills of the country because the people voted him in that position to do that. If the speaker doing things are not right, we want our woman to come on social media and anywhere in different radio stations and speak on it, and the people will respect him because that's what he's there for.
Before I close, a few seconds before I close, please. So just saying here to close this process off, I believe, and moving forward since January of this year, since the speaker took the matter of leadership, and I believe that the speaker has done very well from my perspective personally. And I think the best way to engage for the process of separation of power and coordination, Speaker Kofa and the rest of the leadership been playing a very major role into our democracy. And I will hope the speaker will continue the path. There's now time for animosity here. You don't move government and governance in the same manner. So I will praise the speaker to continue the kind of a practice and catapult the image of our country moving forward. This is the make of democracy, and we need to maintain the process on that. So, Speaker Kofa, move ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, Pewee. Yeah, we respect the speaker.
Strong words, Pewee. Those were strong words.
They understand that.
So that's just
I mean, there was nothing to stand down. I mean, he disrespected the speaker. That's the fact.
But I was just disappointed in the way he went about it, but it's okay.
Why are you disappointed in Ita? You need to stop.
You are not saying the right thing. You are not saying the right thing. Trust me.
That was disrespectful, Grace. He was very disrespectful.
You are not saying you're disrespectful. You are not saying the right thing.
If you say somebody that
there's no reason. And the two people have come up and said they have made.
Ty said got no integrity. Ty said got no integrity. He was standing there the other day taking
Peabody.
Helicopter.
Peabody.
Stay down too.
Peabody, stop it, man. The man helicopter went out before he went out. That time he was representative. Stop that thing. What you got?
Well, my take on this.
The relationship is the relationship are too many in the people that work with the government. That's why the country can never be straight. Tomalin, George, coming.
Yeah, my take on this issue is this. First of all, the speaker is in a very, very tough position. Let me tell you, he's an opposition figure. He's a speaker. He's the third highest ranking man in the government. And his bloc is composed of independents and members of his party. And you saw what happened that what led to him becoming speaker. You saw what happened. There were deception. They tried to infiltrate his bloc to dismantle it. They tried to make sure that he wasn't elected. They fought him. Even as we speak now, they are attempting to do the same thing. And he has to walk a very, very delicate line because he cannot be seen right now in this early stage, in the first year, being confrontational to the sitting president. Right now, the executive, they have to work together. They cannot be seen when having this confrontation. You saw what happened. One time, Liberian presidency is very powerful. You saw how Snow got booted out. One day, he made a comment about he threatened Madam Sadi with impeachment. Madam Sadi, knowing the game too, she said, "Well, I want to let the young man to come and mess around me." She took him out quick. You saw what happened with Tyler. Madam Sadi got rid of Tyler too. She make sure Tyler got out. And then but he has to be very careful. But that's why he has to protect his block, keep his block together. But I can tell you this for a fact though. Despite what they're saying they are making peace and say, we'll come back here. You expect to see more of that. It will happen again. This will happen. Ty is in a position where he's represented for at the ECOWAS. At ECOWAS, who got ECOWAS? You got Snow. Snow, that member of CDC, he was MPP, and he already having the 2029 block prepared for 2029. Make no mistake. You don't forget when President Weah won the election, Snow was still saying he was running for 2029. He would have selected Kuhn as his VP. So. And at ECOWAS, a lot of things happen at ECOWAS. And why you notice coming out of ECOWAS most of the time, all the guys who are ECOWAS now with Snow, they praise him, come with praises. All they praising him. All the representatives he sent to ECOWAS, they praise him, including Ty, the whole group. And the fact of the matter is that Ty, first of all, there's no reason why he had to go in the public to come and no matter how they disagreed. That politics, you got to be a member of that block. You supported him to be speaker, okay? It has not reached to the point where you must come to the public and say, "Well, I've tried, now I come public with it." No, I think he was wrong. And again, I would say he wanted the attraction, wanted the public to say, "Yeah, he's tough," and so forth. But again, the speaker, as I said earlier, he has to hold his block together, hold his caucus together. It's very important because they're going to fight him. Right now, the issue of the yellow machine is on the table right now, and I was talking to some lawmakers over the weekend, and it's a delicate issue because what will happen? I told you before, yellow machine, it won't be sent back to where it came from. It will stay here. It will be used. But will there be any heads that will roll? Will anybody pay the price for it, for violating the law? We need a machine, but you can't send it back. So again, You can find Mama abilities, Ambassador Grisby, they will call them and they're going to call them. And just like the end of the day, perhaps they will say, well, we apologize and then things will happen. Yeke called on the show Friday. He made some statements here, but we're taking it with just or look Yeke when Yeke talk like that. Okay. Our house is going to go on break on the 19th. Okay. They're going to break on the 19th, but I believe they're going to extend it. According to Yeke, they will extend it. And they extend it, it's not just for free. So a lot's going to happen, and I believe it should have started already. It will despite they say they're making peace behind the scene, it will come up. You want to see, we're going to hear about it again. It will come up again. But finally, Speaker Kofa has to be very careful. He has to hold your block together because of the attempt to infiltrate his block, to dismantle it, to make it unpopular among his majority block, certainly majority block he has. And in doing so, just got to keep engaging the presidency. He cannot be seen attacking the president. And that's why some members of the bloc want to see happen. Want to be attacking President Bouaka, going back and forth with him and confronting him. No, he can't do that. He's a mature politician. Good, he's a lawyer, smart lawyer too. So he has to play the game in a way that he will be seen as being a part of the government, because there are three separate and coordinated branches of government. Lastly, one of the issues that are trending with them, they had a motion filed last week about when the officials appear. They passed a motion to invite the president to appear. And under the laws, the speaker can seize the motion. He seized the motion and refused the president to appear. They wanted him to President Bouaka to appear, which was not going to be appropriate. So he seized it, and someone got mad. So why he seized the motion? But he was right. Because under Article 61 of the Constitution, he has his right, his reliance. So, just to end, Chad just should have gone public with this thing to make it to create some public show. It was wrong. You be member of the block. Yeah, you're not, and nothing happening so sinister that you should go public. So you want to expose something? No, and you consult your speaker, consult him, talk to him. But that's the bottom line. Just that Kofa got to act in a way that he's not going to be seen confrontational, attacking Bouaka, going after Bouaka. It's not going to happen. That's just my take on it.
I don't think Tar will need to attack Bouaka, Tomalin, but thank you for your input on it. Chuchu, you can come in.
All right, thank you, Grace. Look, my view on this is that I read the complaints, the counts, and first of all, I feel people should be responsible for who they align themselves with. So I have no patience for people who, if you go behind bad people, you align with bad people, and then you come on and call a person bad. As an adult, right? And as an intellectual person or educated person, you should have judgment. You should know what to, who to be your friends. So, don't complain because you join a block or you're not getting what you want and start whining all around the place. To me it seems as if you're just angry because you didn't get what you want and so forth. Secondly, legislators are there for the people, but I don't see much fight for the people. I see ego. I don't know what this legislator has really passed for the Liberian people in terms of investment project, social services, housing, nothing. They are fighting over, I get my pay, that I deserve. Well, the Liberian people, your job doesn't say that the purpose of the government is to make sure that Liberian people, economically are taken care of, or is it that you got a job just so you personally can benefit? Because there's no benefit to the Liberian people. That's just the reality. Going back, if there were no government in Liberia, maybe the only thing, the chaos and the security. But as far as what the government delivers to the average Liberian person is minimal to none. And as such, what are now who's right, Tar one way or Speaker Kofa or Bouaka, is just personal views. But I don't see anything yet. Okay, the one only allegation I see here that to me I would say of serious concern is the changes in the budget. You can't the legislator cannot sign the budget, right? And the president change figures in it. That's fraud. That is pure fraud. You know, in Liberia, like I said, but according to Togar, in Liberia, we got one way, you know, government means something different from what government everywhere else means. So that the culture, you know what I mean? So you got to live with the culture because you're there. We're here encouraging bad practices and culture instead of trying to say, look, this is wrong. We say, oh, that Liberia. So then live with your Liberia like that. You know, you can't change, you can't alter, you know, change numbers in a budget that was already signed. That is illegal. Anywhere else, that president, I mean, would be, that's an impeachable offense. And the things that people get away with, where another issue, the FPRC go and take loan when it's clear in the law that the legislator has to approve all loans and so forth. Yellow machine. I mean, it just countless, you know, like violation of the Constitution. Yes, I may not live in Liberia, but I can read. That's why we have a law. That's why it's published. If it's the law says this and you're doing something else, you can't come make the excuse, oh, that the way it is. Then what's the point of having a government? Because government is supposed to be about the rule of law. That's the only thing the government is supposed to be about. The government is not your opinion. What do you think? You with friends, or you know, we're not friends, and we're part of the block. And they don't follow the law. They are law breakers from the president down. These are not allegations. These are facts. And the budget I reviewed, it was changed by some $20 million. And there's no investigation, and there's nothing, you know, that business as usual.
And they said that woman should go talking in the back. I don't get
it. Yeah, he won't go talking in the back.
You
know, we're just wasting our time, guys. You know, but I just, nobody here should encourage. I think the purpose of me being here is because I've seen some people, a lot of people here who are very knowledgeable in different areas, respective areas of discipline, and I can learn from their expertise and to educate the Liberian people and fight for the Liberian people, because the legislature is not fighting for the Liberian people. Then obviously, you know, we can't come on platforms to come and say, oh, I know the other person like my man. Ben know all the politicians in Liberia. Ben is like, you know, like I said, Ben should be the richest consultant in Liberia because, you know, he makes the case for them more than themselves, you know. So who are we? So someone, oh yeah, we're here for the Liberian people, and they kill the Liberian people.
Thank you. I said, Togar, why you got on the sea color? I got on, and then the sea tada.
Yeah, I tell you, exactly. I just noticed that myself. No, they want old, that old something, your own annuity. But I mean, Choo-choo. So Choo-choo, first of all, I never would say to you because you're not on the ground, so things that happen. I'm only saying to you, when you're giving a global reference to something, you must know that those same things happen here. I'm not saying it happens here differently. I'm saying to you that the same way you talk about America and VIP, that the same way we talk about Liberia and VIP, they're not different. All right. So sometimes you make it appear like what's happening in America is completely different. No, it's almost similar. So I never will ever say to you that no, not Liberia. No. The speaker is in a very tight position. I agree with many of the panelists that the speaker is in a very tight position. He's trying his best, first of all, to balance the state. He's trying to balance.
Chris,
your conversation.
Yeah, you talking.
Yeah, he's trying to balance the state. So I can understand one day, and you know, he wants to serve as an operator for JMB. Another day, he wants to stand by George Weah. He's in a very difficult spot. But some of the issues raised by Ta, like Ta even mentioned in the article that he wrote that, look, Honorable Speaker, we discussed this behind closed door. If you look at it, I think they one of the first, second, third, maybe the fourth paragraph. Around the fourth paragraph, you come to realize that Ta said these things were discussed behind closed door, and one, he was insulted. He talked about the speaker labeling him almost like he's a boy of Edwin Snow. You know, like he's now at ECOWAS and listening to Snow, more so Snow now that he's a new political leader. He talked about the speaker threatening him to removing all his committee.
He don't want to be president, so he's convincing that.
You know, so if you realize that, you notice that he said these are the reasons he came to the public. And the Ta that I know, I even follow Ta at the ANC end. All right, this guy was even in ANC and criticizing Cummings at some point and criticizing the ANC. It seems this is nature. It seems this is his nature. So it's not because you gave him a committee and you think that he will not come out to speak to some of the issues that are happening in the legislature. And obviously, some of the motions that the speaker has seized over time in the legislature, you can read through them. Take for example, there was a day that Mamaka Belete and I think the Minister of State should have appeared. Now, you could almost say it was an entire calculated plot. The scene that the people were to appear was the scene that the president landed the letter on Capitol Hill. That letter, you could read through it and know exactly that it was written by some lawyer. That president's letter. They categorized it in a legal way, and they brought it. Now, when it landed, the speaker then just suggested that there's no reason after the debate for us to have Mamaka and the Minister of State to appear again. So let them go. I think most of the lawmakers felt offended by that because they had drafted some questionnaires. They wanted to engage these people. The speaker uprightly just threw it apart and said the two people then they can go now. The president let us supersedes. Another issue was even the LPRC saga. The whole loan issue. Immediately the loan issue started, immediately they started the debate also. All the guy from LPRC did was just to practically introduce himself. When he presented the documents to the speaker sees all the documents and say, okay, we'll send it to committee room now, and going forward, we will just analyze all these documents. They may not speak it again. I think that was unfair to his colleagues. Over 7 of his colleagues walk away. Over 7 of his colleagues, they walk away from the session. These instances, people will keep
somebody got it.
Oh, got it. Someone stuff is on or something like that. I think that's Slyvester. Slyvester, check. You're not muted. Yeah. So these are some of the instances that bringing all of the noise on Capitol Hill. The speaker has to be able to watch these things. The audit of the legislature, for example, even when he presented something to the GAC, put that in the public. Come out to the public and say, today the office of the speaker I already asked GAC, then the public know. It can be behind closed door. Like today, I even knowing that the speaker has already written the GAC asking them to audit the legislature. The public has no information on this. There should have been a press release to this effect that the speaker has requested GAC to audit the body. Then everybody is relaxed. Everybody know that the GAC will hold it accountable now for some of these issues. And I agree with Ellis on this too, that the issue of alteration is a serious concern. It's an impeachable offense. And we cannot be adding other people here. For you to pass a budget and go to the president then the president increases his budget. Then I understand the legislature to increase their budget. Other people are increasing their budget behind the scene. So because of that, the budget gets published 1 minute, few seconds before you can read it, the budget is on the website. They don't want to see the different areas that were increased and all of that. The speaker is sitting, he's watching. I understand he's in a tight spot, but he has to wear some courage. It's better for the Liberian people to stand with you. You see, Yeke Koluba, that city happened even with Akara's Gray the second time he was elected. If the Liberian people saw how he was marginalized by the Ellis administration, they voted him again. Yeke Koluba, the Liberian people saw amidst all he was saying, he was marginalized by the Weas administration. It's not compulsory. You have to just stand on the side of the people. When you stand on the side of the people, whether tomorrow they remove you from that job or not, the Liberian people will stand with you. And I think the speaker needs to stand with the people more than just stand by his own thoughts, thinking that they will remove anytime.
30 second information. 30 second information.
Let Lofa come in quick. Then we go to
I got a 30 second information quick. 30 second information.
Lofa, you want you to tell a minute.
30 second information. And I'm looking at it. The reason I want to do it because I like Togar. Me and Togar agree 98% of the time. But just to clarify, a lot of the things that you were talking about, Togar, and I agree with you on one point. The speaker should have made these things public. His press officer, communication officer, whoever they are, should have made these things public. Like the issue of the alteration of the budget. It's stated in the speaker response to TAB that the reason they took the budget down from the Ministry of Finance website, it was because he raised it. He raised the alteration issue with the Legislative Budget Office, and they are currently investigating it. So they instructed the Ministry of Finance to take the budget down. It's right in the response that he gave. But I agree with you on the notion that this should have been made public. and
So-
not allow people to.
I think a poor communication from the
And
speaker.
always that not poor communication, have no respect for the Liberian people. They don't
So,
care.
you
That's
know,
the reason.
Grace,
And Lofa can
wait,
So I just
wait.
wanted to provide that information. Yeah.
With Ben, you know, clarity or, you know, information provided, 30 seconds. Let me say this. I support any disruptor in that house. And in this case, why it is true that just a few weeks ago, Ty and I had our little Rick Monroe and Mr. Mediator Ben Sanvee here. But let's be honest here. I support Ty's decision to expose the ill practices at the house level. Look, for too long, we have been victim of the friendship kind of governance. For too long, we have been told we don't understand, neither do we feel the dynamics of Liberia politics. We don't understand it because they often side with their colleagues again and leave the masses to struggle. For too long, the people have been left to fend for themselves while the 1% continue to enrich themselves without even having that conscience to say we were sent here to serve the people. You can work along with your colleagues. The reason why one is often elected to this position, you must have the ability to lobby with your colleagues to get what you want achieved. But if you can't do that, you simply rely on this buddy-buddy relationship. Oh, I know this man, he's a friend of mine. So when he steals, then you cover him up. This is why Liberia is to where she is today. They often try to shield each other. Can you believe today we're talking about an Alex Tyler potentially wanting to become a president in Liberia?
Lofa, I will not help you. Remember, I beg you.
Okay. Okay. I'm just saying this.
Lofa, he's represented to echo us too. Alex Tyler.
That's what, again, that's why I'm here telling you that these guys often just tie the knot to keep the people shut. There should be no reason. Anyone who goes in the house and serve as a disruptor, you have my full support and you will get it every day because the people did not send you there to go establish friendship club. They did not send you there to be a reverend or pastor. They sent you there to represent the people. So if it requires you to come to the public and notify them of what is happening, I think it's only fair. Some of us, we are concerned because the Speaker of the House is a convicted felon. He can do anything. So let us be conscious of these kind of things and say, look, guys, we must be cognizant of these things and hold these people accountable. So Ty's decision, I supported 110%, and I asked others to do the same thing. And that's why I always cherish Musa Hassan Bleaded's decision. Whether he comes to the public with it, but he have a permanent position that he stands with. Thus far, he is yet to do anything that I disagree with. But a lot of the guys in there, they believe the only way they can succeed is by stealing. So they will maneuver anyway to bamboozle their way and take away from the Liberian people. So Ty won't be your decision. I support you. I said continuously do it. My only disappointment here is the whole friendship thing. Your loyalty should be to Liberians. Your loyalty should be to Liberians and nobody else. And you should not simply be loyal to those who voted for you. I read your statement and you are concerned about.
Thank you. But we have to go, but I just have a quick announcement. I want to say something that right now, as we are on air, right now, the journalist named Frank Siwola, his home is being attacked by unknown men, and he lives in Ghannasville. We hope the police will take note and reach out to protect him because he's being attacked right now by unknown.
Alleged. Please use the word alleged.
He is alleged being attacked. But
man say he's being attacked, and you say alleged.
No, but no, the man's not saying it. That's someone posting
no,
it.
But
yeah,
she's quoting.
Yeah, but he's being
Slyvester,
attacked.
she's quoting him.
Reliable information.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Did Frank say he was? Did Frank called to say he being attacked?
No.
And somebody got posted that we can't go by what people put.
Yeah, it's alleged.
You know. somebody,
Dude, look, this is an emergency situation. If somebody claims to be attacked, you can't question them.
No, you can say alleged.
He said he's being attacked. He said he's being attacked.
I don't think if he's not being attacked, they will come and say it.
Who said that?
Kill him.
Yes, that was said in the Liberian media chat room.
Because
most journalists are trying to publicize it. In the Liberian media chat room, yes, it's being discussed there as well.
But it's alleged.
Yes,
somebody called it in an emergency distress.
I'm not getting nowhere. Yeah, I'm just trying to be professional. Period.
Let's not be professional.
It's alleged.
Well, how you can do it, bro? When you call 911, when you call 911, like, bro, if there's one there, you say, "Oh,
the guy gotta go." But let me say this: why somebody text me and say, "Oh, they're attacking this person home"? I can't come out and say those things because I don't have any facts.
It's alleged. What's wrong with that?
But think about it. All we're doing is giving the information to the police. The police will investigate. Responsibility.
You gotta be careful too, though.
We have heard that Frank Siwola, whom has been attacking Ghanansville, the police need to help him.
It's information.
The information we have heard. In 3 chat room, like they're saying it right there beside the chat room. So
is that credible? So anyway, but I won't. Anyway, I won't do that. But Grace, look, I was just going to I'll say something. I know we gotta go.
Yeah.
But again, I think Ta Wamwe was very disrespectful. And I will go by Slyvester's statement, even though he was told to 10 now. There are truth that he tried to get some kind of compensation, certain amount of money.
Is that true?
It is alleged that he was trying to get some money.
That is correct, and that's what I said.
That is correct.
For me, Ta Wamwe was not coming out saying anything. The speaker got to be careful with folks like Ta Wamwe, because now he's going to echo us. He behind somebody who want to be president. They're coming up. More things will come on the speaker. More things will come up because these guys, they are in Nigeria. They are planning. And the next thing, you saw how they were hating Amara Conan the other day that he lied about certain things. That's what's going to come out. They're going to come on the speaker hard. But I think Ta Wamwe was very his attack on the speaker was very premature.
That was not an attack.
It was very premature. That was very premature. I mean, it's all about money. Ain't no serious thing coming about that.
I don't think it was but thank you, Tom, for the information you get like Brent people because we deserve it.
What information?
This is not a body government. That's why like is not going anywhere.
I know information.
They went to Broadway, they play racket.
Let me ask you one question. Chris, let me ask you.
Gotta go though.
No, but people, by the way, let me ask you one question. So when you defending Clarence on the show, he can't do nothing wrong. When he was heading, let me ask you. Don't get defensive.
Yeah,
when you defending Clarence's record on this show, Clarence worked in the Ellen administration, and plenty of people get problem with the Ellen administration. By the way, I'm a huge fan of Ellen, so I'm not one of those who I don't think she did everything right.
The person should be press secretary.
For what?
For the work government.
No. Listen, you see the thing about me. I know these people. And I have information, right? So I can hit them hard. Trust me. I hit them hard as I want to hit them hard. Ta knows the conversation me and he had privately. The speaker know the conversation the both of us had. But I also am a politician and I understand you get more out of honey than you get out of vinegar. The fact of the matter is that Ta is a member of the speaker's leadership team, right? Some of the issues that he raised that the speaker responded to were issues that probably he could have gotten the answers for. With that being said, they handled it. Right? They handled it. If you notice, Ta has not done anything else. The speaker has reached out. The both of them have reached out. I'm not saying here that we shouldn't hold these leaders accountable. I just said on the show, like I agree with what Togar said. That was my first time seeing it in the speaker response when he said, he had written the GSC. When he talked about the legislative budget office, all of those different things. So all I'm saying is when you see me doing this, I'm not doing it because, I'm just trying to defend. No. So that's why I ask you, when you defending Clarence, right? Sometimes when people attack Clarence, I know Lofa had attacked Clarence here, and you defended him. You defended his record. Does that mean that, you running body? No. It's because you can speak on that because you have you speaking from a position of strength. You're speaking from a position of strength because you know what? You got the information. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying.
But
you know how many people on this? You know how many people that I attack people on the platform here that I have an issue with? You don't see me go after them. I don't listen. Everybody, you get in politics.
The guys instituted.
Yeah, it's time to go. But I just wanted to say that quickly, since I'm the host tonight, I would like to thank you guys for coming on and very engaging conversation.
Actually,
also, I'm not a respecter of any person. I supported Dr. Muniba in 2023 race, and the reason why I supported him because I scrutinized. I will speak like Pewee. I scrutinized his information and his background, and I saw nothing that would stop him from to lead that report at the particular time. Doesn't mean I will support him continuously if he does something wrong. I am a woman of a certain substance.
That's not the
I
case.
will never support wrong, regardless whether the person is my friend or not. And this is where I am with the whole thing. But it's good that you know a lot of people in the government and you're friends with them. Well, I know it'll be a wide information. Dr. Muniba is not my friend. He's a political leader that I respect. I've never even met Dr. Muniba. I went to Liberia. He wasn't even there. He traveled to another country. So I just wanted to say that. That's why I mean independent. That's what I said. That would mean independent, like a person, or individual. So that.
I want to say, please let me. I want to make one very important announcement.
We gotta go, guys.
We're doing closing again.
No closing.
Yeah, no. One announcement. For just
what a political leader wants to do.
Organization today as a board member, very great organization. And I also want to say congratulations to Marty Colley for his new paper, Verity.
Beyond that paper, and you, Alex, I can see some story in that paper. You have Marty working together.
Beyond all the papers there.
Yeah,
because your friend there. After your.
Why?
Alex, let's put it in paper up. We won't see it. Yeah, put it up.
Oh yeah, the paper. Let me show you. It's a beautiful paper.
Yeah, put it up next time. Put it up.
You want me to put it up?
We're not promoting Martin.
So now we're doing promo. Now we're doing promo. I'll bring spoon.
I'm not praising. I'm just saying the man issue his first.
We'll bring right. We'll put it up. We're not doing promo for nobody newspaper here. You want to do promo? You come and pay us to do a promo.
We'll put people up here. Yeah, my people.
That's promotion.
That's a promotion.
That's news story for the public.
No, that's not. What is the story? What is the story? There's no new story in there.
Okay, so the story that's wrong. No big deal. No big deal. It's okay.
It's not platform. I mean, you know, for the opposition.
Thank you.
All right, guys, y'all take care. All right, guys, y'all take care. Guys in studio, y'all please play that. Y'all please play that video, man. Guys in studio, please play that video.
Grace, I really don't love to have. I didn't love to speak to the facts. I was just saying unless because we should at least try to put it up in that way, man.
No problem, Pewee.
All right, guys.
Yeah, that's a new progressive mantra. We love to come on. That's a.
You got to scrutinize.
We're going to
guys in studio, please play that. Please play that for me. Guys in studio, y'all please play that stuff, man.
Nobody in our studio, Peabody.
Nobody there. I'm there.
Yeah, they're there.
But the studio low empty.
Asu, where you guys at?
He's sleeping.
Yeah, they already doing
8:30, so it's probably late. Okay, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Asu, I mean, I play that Peter, man. There you go.
Chuchu, where are you? In the morning?
Been waiting for diaspora Liberians, ready for a celebration like no other. The Liberian Independence Day extravaganza is here. Mark your calendar for this year's July 26 commemoration in Wolfsburg, Germany, as the European Federation of Liberian Associations, for short AFLA, presents a day full of pure blaze. From a star-studded meet and greet to a rare carpet event and on to a dazzling all-night web party and an all Liberian case and cultural exchange, traditional food fair that will warm your heart. And let's not forget the epic sports showdown in soccer and kickball between Liberians and non-Liberian teams. But wait, there's more. Soul-stirring musical performances from trending Liberians and non-Liberian artists will light up the night. Join us for a day you will never forget. And please don't miss out. And don't forget the keynote speech by Senator Amara Conan, distinguished Liberian figure. This event attracts Liberian and well-wishers from all around the world for a memorable celebration. Book your hotels, tickets, and souvenirs now before it's too late. VIP ticket a table of persons is 300 euros. The easy table or the VVIP, a table of 2 persons is for 300 euros, while the ordinary or the regular ticket is for just 50 euros. Be a part of an unforgettable experience at A-Fla's celebration of the 26th. We see you there, and please bring somebody. Don't enjoy this unique occasion or alone. President Francis Mensah say, see you there, and he's joining you to celebrate the 26th. And this message is brought to you by the Media, Press, and Public Relations Office of A-Fly.
So guys, everybody, we're gonna add, bring it up. We'll take a small fees and we'll play the ad. Okay, so we got other ads coming up. We got to keep the show going, and we got to bring in some money to Closing Argument. We got to do it. We got to do it, guys. Well, guys, we got to play this. We got to play this ad again. It didn't work good. It didn't work too good. We got to do it again on Wednesday.
Why should we play again?
Because it is painful. We got to do it again.
Oh, okay.
And it was not done good. All right, guys.
Yeah, bye. Have a good evening, people.
Yeah, have a good
Great.
evening.
Thank you for moderating.
You're
Nice
welcome.
job, Chris. Thank you.
You're
Did an
welcome.
excellent job.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it.
With all our fight, and we apologize.
The moderator that go after a friend and want to be objective, you go after them.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Ready, Sange? You ready?